Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are. We are bored. It's Saturday. We're just doing a live stream, talk about whatever, and see how the day goes. Uh, First, we're going to get started with what are your favorite Christmas presents you've ever received? Any number, doesn't matter. Let's start with
Damn,
you, Mr. Zam.
I'm really having to think about it now.
And
One
Gadsy,
of
you get
them,
time to think about it as well.
one of them I could possibly show you. It's behind my monitor. Let me see if I can take a picture of it with my phone.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
show you through. It is
Share
a
screen.
signed. It's a signed poster of Spider-Man No Way Home. There it is. There. Oh, you little fuck! I told you stop chewing on my laptop.
Change the name of the stream to
Uh,
Zam versus his birds.
damn, the lighting is kind of ruining this. Um, really, I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm trying to
Have a
get an
look.
angle.
Yeah, I can see it.
Hold on. Let me put down the. God damn it! Now we're landing. Hey, you little fucks. Um, well, hold on.
No, you lost it there.
The
Oh,
resolution.
nice.
It's a signed. My brother gave me this. It was a signed poster of Spider-Man No Way Home. So we got all the usual suspects there.
Yeah.
From that movie. So yeah, that's I'm pretty happy about that. That's one of my better ones. But when I was younger, I had things like Donkey, I think Kongland or something like that, where it was basically like you had to take this magnetic ball across this little bridge and up this little path and stuff like that, and you go all the
Oh,
way to the
Screwball
top,
Scramble.
something
Screwball
like that. But
Scramble.
but it was more based on Donkey Kong or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. It
And
was a dog. Yeah, yeah. It was
yeah,
licensed under Donkey Kong. Yeah, because the thing it swing, he grabs to the arm, and then the arm of the donkey like swings around, drops it, or
yeah,
some shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
Oh, that's a great fucking toy.
yeah. I'm really having to harken back now because I can't remember what birthday and what was not. But yeah, there was what was Christmas and all of that. Also, my birds are really
Yeah.
fucking
No,
distracting me, man.
that's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all right.
Out my way, you little cunts. Okay, but yeah, maybe I got myself a PlayStation or some shit like that. I can't remember, man. I've had like almost over 40 Christmases in my life. Yeah, it's hard to fucking
Yeah,
remember them all. You know,
I
so
can.
some of them a lot of time when you're young, you get money, and I'll tell you what, money is some of the best ones you can fucking get, man.
Oh,
You can't
mate,
go wrong. You can't go wrong
big
with
time.
money, and now, I mean, not recently because recently it feels a bit stupid giving like a 23-year-old, 20 quid. It feels a bit shit. But when they're like 13 and you're giving them 20 quid, they fucking love it. You know what I mean? So. So my nephew and niece, I used to give them money all the time, like 20 quid and 50 quid and stuff like that. Now I'm buying them presents, which is actually cheaper, which is why I'm buying them fucking presents.
Yeah, because otherwise it's been like you got to give him like 100 quid and all that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did listen
exactly.
one year. One of my aunties, man, she gave me like 200 quid. I was like, "What the fuck?" And she turns around, she says to me, if I don't give it to you, my grandkids will fucking steal it from me anyway. So I'll just give it to the nicer kid." And so I was like, "Oh, fucking sweet, mate." I can't remember what I
Yeah,
did with that. I think I put it towards a PC because I was 17, 16 at the time. I just put it because I was scrambling to save because PCs back in the day, man. My first one cost me like fucking 1,600 quid. So I worked and saved.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy
uh,
because they were really crap back then, and now there's about 1,600 quid now, and they're really fucking good.
yeah. You pay £1,600 now. Look, my laptop was £1,200, and I can play like brand new games on it. I was playing the finals, which is a game that has destructive environments as well. It's like a PvP game. It's pretty all right and all that. So yeah, but back then, fucking forget it. You pay 1,500 quid, you'd be lucky to play a modern game as well.
yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah.
Gaz, what you got?
So I've got a couple. I've got my the basketball hoop I got bought when I was about 12. I mean, I live in Salford, so like we had to like nail it to a board we had over our kitchen, and the amount of times I hit the flaming basketball thing on the flaming window rather than the hoop was quite a lot. So that was a favourite. The other one was Final Fantasy 7 and PS1.
Nice.
The third one, it was actually my mum and dad got me a big, massive, and I gave this to my mate. I'm pissed off with myself to this day for this. A big, massive flaming Millennium Falcon. It was literally like it was pretty big. It was like one where you could like take the edge off and like play around with the insides and stuff like that. I loved that. But
is it the 80s one or the one that came out in 2008?
No, this was the 80s one, but it was still pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the old classic Star Wars stuff. Any more?
I'm trying to get to it. I used to get comic books as well. So like I've got like the first appearance of Dr. Octopus. I've got that like one of those annuals you used to get, like they had like a Spider-Man annual.
Yeah,
I got about like 3 or 4 of those for like at Christmas when I was like 10 or something. Like I used to love that. Like I had that. I had some like British comics as well, so like King Cobra and like like World War II, where like a guy would like drive like a tank with a grenade into like into Nazi camps and stuff like that. It was just amazing. So,
nice. Yeah. Cool. Mine, the ones that stick out to me are it's always mainly toys. So one of those was receiving Rhino or Mask. I absolutely loved.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. It's still my favorite Mask toy. Yeah, I absolutely loved that. I had let me see. But my all-time Shredder's here. Oh, lovely. My all-time favorite one that I received was the G.I. Joe Mobile Command Center, which was fucking.
Oh my god, that's retro as fuck. Oh my god,
mate. I absolutely burst a testicle when my parents showed it to me. I mean, look at the insides of that. It's just magnificent. I love it.
Lovely.
Yeah,
very nice, very nice.
Yeah, and then last year,
workstation and stuff like that. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, it was just so
satellite
awesome.
with rocket launchers on it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, mate. Secret compartments, all this kind of shit. I was in heaven. And last year I got this one here, which is, I'm a massive fan of Asterix, and Playmobil were doing Asterix. So I got this little thing and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, I'm very easily pleased with presents.
Man, also, I forgot, man. Playmobil.
Oh shit! Sorry, Freda.
That's all right.
Sorry, I forgot. Zam, did you? I forgot. But yeah, those are like my big standouts, and like the 200 quid I got from an auntie. And Shredder, we're talking about favorite Christmas gifts while we're here live. What were yours that you ever received?
Oh, there's quite a few model trains I've received as Christmas presents. Naturally, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles WWE figurines I have in my cabinet. I've got the first series of them. They were sent to me as a Christmas gift by Steph. I absolutely love those. I'm slightly gutted I've not got the Series 2 ones, but I'm very, very happy with the Series 1 figures.
Which were the Series 2 ones?
The Series 2 ones, if I remember correctly, that's where they had... oh god, one of them was where they had one of them is Ultimate Warrior. Raphael was the Rock in the second series. They had Raphael as the Rock.
Oh yeah, Mikey was Roddy Piper.
Really?
I think Leo was Finn Balor and Donnie was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes, because the original series I've got behind me, Michelangelo is Randy Savage, Leonardo is John Cena, Donatello is the Undertaker, and
Look at the
Raphael is
picture.
Sting.
That's it. Yeah, these were great
Interesting
figures.
lineup.
Yeah, I'll show it to you in 1 second, Zam. So this is the first series.
I mean, there's been a couple of the TMNT crossover series I really regret the fact I didn't get a chance to getting. The Ghostbusters ones, for example.
Oh yeah, and this
God,
was the
Sting. He got that. He looks more like a samurai ghost. You know,
yeah.
he's got
I
like
love my favorite one was the Undertaker one with just the goatee.
Donatello is the Undertaker, yeah.
That one made me laugh.
Donatello looks awesome.
Yeah, let me
personally, I would make Michelangelo John Cena. I think that their personalities more aligned.
No, because again, I think Michelangelo was more appropriate for Randy Savage, whereas Leonardo was the more straight-edged, straight-laced one of the group. So he fit more being Cena.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that was.
Look at this one! Wow.
Yeah,
these are good. I love the Roddy Piper and the Finn Balor ones. They're great.
Yes,
That is such an unusual combination. Though, like Finn Balor of all fuckers, man. You know what I mean? Like you got three classic guys. I mean, and you got Finn Balor. And then I got nothing against him, but I'm very happy he's in there.
Yeah, it's because he was again at the time he was like one of the best selling action figures from the WWE.
The demon character was very fresh in the mind of fans, and it was like holy shit. And this is what they went for. They went for the demon version of Finn Balor on Leonardo.
Yeah, it was great. The only thing missing would have been more face paint, but it was really, really fucking good. So that's those ones. Anything else?
Well, again, a lot of the Ninja Turtle toys. I've received some clothing over the years, which I'm still very, very grateful for. I got at Christmas, but those are the ones that really stand out.
All right, cool, lovely, nice one, guys. Right, well, I'll tell you what. I know we're live, but we could break convention here and go into our top 10 worst Christmas films if you guys want.
Oh yeah, I've got my list ready for that.
I've got mine.
Let me pull my list up.
Yeah, I've got my list here. Lovely. Just let me know when you guys are ready. And Hybrid Zam, we will start with you with your number 10 whenever you're ready to go.
Okay.
And then after that, we're just chatting whatever, William, today.
No problem.
Nothing else to do. So yeah.
Okay, so at number 10 we have How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now I know this is in people's favorite Christmas movies, but I think this film
is the cartoon version.
No, this is the Jim Carrey version.
Okay.
The Grinch, basically. This is the one I remember because actually the Dr. Zeus version is actually very good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to shit on Dr. Seuss, but How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, I just straight away from watching it, for some reason, having a world on the snowflake just really pissed me off. I don't know why, but I thought that was a really stupid concept. What happens if that snowflake melts and the whole fucking world's destroyed? You know what I mean? It's just so fucking stupid.
It's a magical snowflake.
Yeah, of all the things you could take issue with in that movie, that's the thing.
But that's what started it off straight off the bat. Like I'm already now thinking. Yeah, I'm already thinking. Like
it started there, then it just escalated basically.
Yeah, and there's this little girl who just somehow wanted to find the best out of him, and I'm thinking to myself, "Come on, little girl, just fuck this guy. You can't. Don't be like trying to like encourage him to be better. He's a fucking dickhead. Leave him alone." But no, she made an effort, and eventually he did grow a heart, and it kind of hurt him at the time when he did grow a heart. So being nice ended up being a bad thing for him, in my opinion. It costed him. Regardless, I don't fucking like this movie. I'm going to move on very quickly, but we've got no more films.
Yeah. Do your top 10, and then we'll move on like that.
Next one is the guy John Cena has been compared to so often, and that's Ernest. And Ernest Saves Christmas. Now, this is the sort of film that kind of made me realize how shitty American humor can be when it's not doing slapstick. and this is trying to be slapstick, and it was shit at the same fucking time. I hate this fucking film with a fucking passion. I hate Ernest with his fucking face and all that sort of shit. Fuck Ernest. Fuck this film, and fuck American comedies when it comes when it's not being slapstick and it's not trying to fucking have somebody fuck a fucking apple pie. All right.
Say what you really think, hey?
Next one is the
Number
Santa Claus. Number 8 is the Santa Claus 2. Yeah. Like some films don't need sequels, and unfortunately, the Santa Claus series started having sequels. And this one, where everything was trying to go into reverse because he needed to find a Mother Christmas, and it was just a stupid concept. Because if anything, this should have been a fucking godsend for Tim Allen's character that he can go back to fucking normal again. But it's just so fucking stupid. I didn't like this film at all.
Yeah.
Tay's ready, mate. Tay's ready. Next one is Bad Santa 2. Look, Bad Santa is a great film, and sometimes you don't need to do a sequel, and you're trying to like recapture that formula which made the original so great. And Bad Santa 2 unfortunately didn't capture it for me. It's a shit sequel and it should never have been made. Next one is Jack Frost. Now, I think this is America trying to do their version of the snowman. This is a really stupid concept of fucking Michael Keaton's character being killed and being reincarnated into a fucking snowman to spend Christmas with his son. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? It's the most stupidest idea on the fucking planet, and I fucking hate it. Fuck you, Hollywood. All right, next is Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, with Jack Frost being the fucking villain. Martin Short, thank God you've revitalized your career with Murderers in the Building, because honestly, this didn't help your career whatsoever. This big pile of shit where they use time travel and stuff like that to make him not be Santa Claus again and rehashing the fucking formula. Stupid fucking movie, fucking hate it. Next one is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. A lot of people like this movie, but I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah, you can't. All you're doing is going back to the well. When you go back to the well, it ends up not being that fucking good. It's a bit like doing your first time shooting heroin. It feels fucking great the first time you shoot it, but you can never recapture that fucking same vibe the second time. And this film tried to give you that vibe a second time, and it just felt shit. And it's also got Donald Trump in it. Fuck this movie. Home Alone 3 after that, like no Macaulay Culkin. The Home Alone formula was just becoming terrible after that. So fuck the Home Alone franchise after number 1. And finally, and without sorry, not finally. Number 2 is Elf, with Will Ferrell. Never in my life have I seen a film that made me want to fucking pull out an assassination contract on a particular actor like this movie did. You know what I mean? I've never been so irritated by somebody. And yeah, he did his job to a degree, but no, I wanted something bad to happen to him every fucking time. I think the only saving grace to this movie is Peter Dinklage being in it. And finally, I think we can all come to the same conclusion here when it comes to what my number 1 is, and I think it's quite an easy one to pick. The Star Wars Holiday Christmas Special, without doubt, a sacrilege to Star Wars. Absolutely fucking awful. Absolutely fucking hate it. No wonder nobody wants to try and show this again. No wonder this shit never gets put back on our screens on a more regular basis. It's a fucking big pile of junk. I fucking hate it, and I wish it never fucking existed. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, the question is, does the Star Wars Holiday Special count as a movie, given that it was a TV special?
Well, it's a one-off, so I mean, it's the same. We're same with the Snowman. I put that in my top 10. Okay. So that's how I'm putting it. This one.
I'm laps on the rules, whatever, mate. If he wants to put Star Wars, I'm not fussed there. All right, Gaz.
Okay, I'll start from 10 to 1. Number 10, Batman Returns. Even though I like the film, it's just really bad Christmas movie because it's not about Christmas. It's about Christmas.
Right, all right, that's fair enough.
Right. Number 9, Four Christmases.
Oh God, yeah, fair enough. That's a terrible.
Number 8, Fred Claus.
Awful.
Oh my God, how'd I forget that one? That is a fucking awful film. It's awful. Yeah.
Number 7, Jingle All the Way.
Wow, I like that.
No, come on.
I like that.
Have a heart, Gaz.
Especially with that dude.
Put the cookie down.
Put the cookie down.
Number 6, that animated Christmas Carol movie that they did not that long ago with Jim Carrey in it. There's all the rules.
Which
There's
one?
like the CGI thing. The animated.
Oh, I know
yeah.
what you're on
Was
about.
that
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis again?
Yes,
Yes.
I saw that. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
Right.
Rubbish.
Number 5 isn't just one movie; it's a collection of movies. All the movies on Christmas 24. Now, my mother loves this shit. I hate it with a passion. Right. Some of them are okay, but most of them are rubbish. Right.
Christmas
Remember-
24. Was it Jack Bauer? What the fuck?
No. It's Italian flaming channel. It's basically like Hallmark, but it's even worse.
All right, fair enough. I'm glad I didn't know about that. I'm upset that I do know about that now. All right.
Number 4, Nativity 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Those
Nativity 3. Oh God.
Dude, where's my donkey? That's literally its tagline.
Yeah.
Right. Number 3, the Santa Claus 3. I'm with you on that, Sam. Number 2, Home Alone 3.
Home Alone 3. Yeah. Fair enough.
Number 1, one of the worst films I've ever seen is Deck the Halls. It's literally a rip-off of a British thing that Flaming Bronson Reed did, where he wanted to have a load of Christmas lights and shit like that. It was even worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my list.
That's a great top 10, Gary. The Batman Returns one is very smart. I'll give you that. Like, your reasoning is very solid.
A good controversial one, in my opinion.
Yeah, very good controversial one. All right, Shredder.
Okay, well, interestingly enough, so far between the two of you, I have only got 3 of the same movies on my top 10 list, and they were all from Gary's list. So, number 10, my worst ever Christmas movies is Deck the Halls. It's literally taking the one joke from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation about the lights that blind everybody that Clark Griswold sets up and turning that into the entire fucking premise of a movie. It is terrible. Number 9 is Home Alone 3. And I would definitely put, because again, much like my top 10 Christmas movies and Christmas episodes, I tried to keep it to like 1 per franchise. And Home Alone 3 is the worst of the bunch. I would say Home Alone 4 probably technically is a worse movie, but that was direct to video. So barely anybody would have ever actually seen it. This was released to theaters. And again, it was god awful. And it actually made me warm and nostalgic for the Macaulay Culkin versions.
Were those the Home Alones that had 2 of the actors from Third Rock from the Sun in it?
Yes, I believe so.
Blonde and Squinty Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It is bad.
But again, absolutely terrible. So that was my number 9. Number 8, A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Bad Moms with Mila Kunis. Oh, Bad Moms with Mila Kunis was a horrendously fucking awful movie. One. And this was the sequel to it. And oh my God, was it not? It wasn't just a terrible Christmas movie, but it was a terrible. It was a terrible movie in general.
Terrible.
So, A Bad Mom's Christmas is secure in the number 8 spot. Number 7, and this is one that a lot of people really actually like as a Christmas movie. I personally hate it. Love Actually.
Oh,
this might be the only movie in this list that completely fucking offends me to my core. Richard Curtis putting in this movie right at the start that you knew that there was love in the world because of the calls from the loved ones during 9/11. It still is one of the most sickening pieces of film that's ever been ever been released to cinemas. On top of that, there's some very, very valid critiques about how creepy and one-dimensional some of those storylines are. I mean, look at Andrew Lincoln's character, who films the wife of his best friend at their wedding. He's never met this woman, but he's madly in love with her. And he's obsessed with her. I mean, to the point he literally only films her during the video. It's creepy stalker-esque behavior, but this is passed off as a romantic comedy. So again, Love Actually, again, it's the only movie in this list I was actually offended by when I watched it back in the day. First of all, because of the 9/11 stuff, and more as as it's progressed over the years, it's aged like rotting fish.
The originally was on my list, Shredder, is is because there's a couple of good things in it. Like Emma Thompson's bit, and I did like the Liam Neeson bit of him getting over his wife. Apart from that, I agree with you. It's shit.
Again, one or two good moments does not save a bad movie, though. So, again, Love Actually is my number 7. Number 6, The Santa Claus 3.
Yeah.
Again, we've all mentioned the Santa Claus movie. Well, not a Santa Claus movie, because there was Santa Claus the movie, but The Santa Claus. We've all mentioned one of those, but I think number 3 does take the cake as being the absolute worst of the franchise. And again, horribly produced movie. Somehow this did not crack my top 5, and I'm actually amazed, considering that, you know, of all the bad movies that's ever been made. The Santa Claus 3, it should have destroyed the careers of anybody who ever starred in it. It was such miserable slog to get through.
It derailed Tim Allen's career.
Yeah,
Tim Allen's career, and Martin Short's career didn't.
His career was dead already, mate.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it never revitalized it. It just an extra nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
I mean.
So my number 5 spot, Santa with Muscles, starring Hulk Hogan.
I don't know about this.
You've never seen it? It's right. Sam, trapping you down. It is worth watching for when the main villain comes in, and because the guy's a germaphobe, they literally he comes into this as somebody's doing like spraying with flaming Lysol or whatever it is.
Disinfectant.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Fucking hilarious, but it's the worst film we've ever seen.
Honestly, it's up there potentially as Hogan's worst movie. It's a 3-way tie for me on, you know, the worst movie that Hogan has starred in as the lead role. It's between that, The Ultimate Weapon, and No Holds Barred.
Oh God, yeah.
Everything he does is shit, man. He hasn't made a good movie ever.
Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny were awesome.
No, they're fucking terrible, man.
I will actually say at least Hogan had a decent cameo in Muppets in Space.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Gremlins 2 as well.
When Hogan is not the lead, the films are good, like Rocky 3 and Gremlins 2. But when he's the lead, they're fucking shit. You know, then they end up being shit.
But yeah, watch Santa with Muscles, and you probably actually have an appreciation for Ernest Saves Christmas.
Fair enough. Okay.
Number 4, another holiday comedy. It's Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh God, I hate that fucking.
I haven't seen this.
Tim Allen,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
One of those horrible movies about, you know, dysfunctional families at Christmas, and it is not worth even 5 seconds of your time to ever watch it.
Just think of it as like a fascist utopia. Like you're in a neighborhood and you decide, we're not going to do Christmas this year, and then the whole neighborhood's like trying to fuck you up because of it, and it's just such a stupid concept. It's not funny. Just a daft film.
Christmas with the Cranks is one of those films that does wind up on the schedule somehow every year, and I think any television network that puts Christmas with the Cranks on their schedule should have their license to broadcast terminated by Ofcom. It is that fucking bad. Number 3, this is a lesser known one in this country, but it's one that the American audience will definitely be familiar with. It's Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh yeah. Very famous.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
God, yes. I'm curious.
Yeah, well, this is what I would actually recommend watching, just to say that you have watched it at least once in your lifetime. But it is one of the worst piles of absolute garbage, again, ever committed to film. And it was between this and potentially A Christmas Story for my number 3 spot. A Christmas Story, I decided wasn't that bad in retrospect, because I rewatched Santa Claus Conquers the Martians just to see, does it rank up there as like one of the worst movies of all time? Yes, it fucking does.
Yeah.
Number 2 is not going to be a specific movie. My number 2 slot goes to the entire Hallmark Channel catalog.
Yeah.
The Hallmark Channel has made so many fucking terrible Christmas movies, it's impossible to pick one. All starring people like Kirk Cameron or Kevin Sorbo or Lacey Chabert. They are all fucking terrible, and they all have a religious undertone to them, or they're all from a fucking failed romance novelist, who's penned a screenplay that they've decided to film for next to $20. And again, they are all atrociously bad. There is not a single good Hallmark Channel movie. They are a plague on humanity. Again, this is a religious organization, and they are giving us one of what should be considered the 10 plagues of Egypt. These movies are an absolute festering boil on the art of cinema. So that is my number 2 slot. Now, my number 1 slot, I'm giving this to the sequel to the movie I gave number 1 in my favorite Christmas movies of all time. So my favorite Christmas movie of all time is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The worst ever Christmas movie ever made, conceived, and filmed is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure.
No, that's the one with Randy Quaid starring in it, wasn't
it? I had no idea they made a sequel to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Randy Quaid and the character Randy Quaid and the character of Cousin Eddie. They decided to make a Christmas movie that has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas. And again, it's potentially the worst comedy that's ever been made. There's not one funny joke in this entire movie. I mean, Jack and Jill had one structured joke. Jack and Jill is like the low point in comedies for me. That's the low bar of comedy as far as I'm concerned. It's Adam Sandler and Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill had one structured joke in it. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the film or you even remember it. Right. There is a scene where Adam Sandler and the character of Jack decides to dress up as his sister. So he goes into a men's toilet. He gets changed into, he puts on a dress. He puts on makeup to look like his sister. The bathroom attendant spots him, beckons him over, and just casually adjusts his breasts. Because again, this is Jack dressing up as a woman.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, like towards the very end of it, this same guy who was the bathroom attendant, he spots Jill, and he thinks it's Jack in a dress. So beckons him over and goes to adjust Jack's breasts again, not realizing it's Jill. And Jill, obviously is like, what? Punches him in the face. That was like once. It wasn't a good joke. Well, it wasn't very well performed, but it was one structured joke. They had that. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2 didn't have a single fucking thing. Now, this really pissed me off as well because do you know who was in this movie? Eric Idle of Monty Python.
Oh my God.
You have fucking Eric Idle of Monty Python in this movie and can't get one goddamn laugh.
Did he not have a look at the script? Did he just say, yeah, give me
the
money?
Paycheck, dude. Paycheck, without a doubt.
I don't know if it was a paycheck thing or, maybe he was being blackmailed or, they decided it was going to be some meta joke in his part, that he's got to appear in this National Lampoon's movie and get no laughs just because of all the laughs, we've managed to get out of the years from all the Monty Python stuff and all the other things he's appeared in. But holy fucking shit, again, this is going to be the most atrocious film. Right, they had Ed Asner in this movie. Ed Asner is an actor who deserved way fucking better than this.
Fucking hell.
They had Fred Willard in this thing.
Jesus Christ. What were they thinking?
Yeah,
like
again,
did they not see the script?
What were they thinking?
Was it changing the editing process? I don't understand.
I have no idea. I mean, they think the entire. They also think it's going to be a case of, right. For example, they established at the very start of the movie that Randy Quaid's character is dumber than a monkey. They're doing laboratory tests where Cousin Eddie is failing tests to a monkey, and they keep bringing that up throughout the entire fucking movie as if it's actually funny. That and the fact the dog farts, and that's pretty much it. And this is what was passed off as a comedy. And again, you look at a movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Again, it is my favorite Christmas movie of all time because it's pure hilarity. It's a great story. I mean, it's Clark Griswold trying to have the perfect family Christmas, and just everything goes horribly wrong. Cousin Eddie fits in well to that because he's the weird, dysfunctional relative who you don't want there, who just happens to turn up out the blue. And again, it works in that setting. Who the fuck thought, yeah, let's give Randy Quaid the starring role of any movie?
That's
somebody NBC, apparently.
That is shocking. Eric Idle's listed here as English victim. He just English victim.
How big is
that? I'm not.
That is perfect. I'm sorry.
You've got to
get it up on screen so you can see for yourself.
He absolutely is a victim appearing in this movie. I mean, again, Monty Python was famous for doing meta jokes back in the day.
There you go.
Yeah, but Monty Python did a lot of meta jokes back in the day. I mean, Monty Python had wanted to do a whole episode where they did not tell a single joke, and the idea was they were going to do a completely serious episode and then have one gag at the very end. And they couldn't figure out a proper way to do it. BoJack Horseman eventually did figure that out. They had an episode called Free Churro. Absolutely brilliant episode. Go watch it if you have never seen it. I mean, but again, it was one of the. It was nominated for multiple awards. You know, BoJack Horseman. The entire episode is giving this really emotional monologue about his mother who's just passed away. He's giving the eulogy at her funeral, and then they have one gag at the very end. And it's just so beautifully done. And it's incredibly funny because of the way they've set it up throughout the entire episode. But again, that none of this happened with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Again, part of me wondered if it was a sick joke on the part of Eric Idle. He thought, yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I've been in all these movies that have been hilariously funny, some of which, you know, have been moderately funny. I'm going to be in a movie that nobody fucking laughs at.
Yeah. Other than that, it just said like, yeah, pay me a lot of fucking money and I don't care.
He was in Casper, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. But he was great in
it. It's only the second worst movie that Eric Idle's ever been in.
Oh, challenge accepted. What's Eric Idle's worst movies?
No, I have to pull up his IMDb because I think he has played small roles in a lot of shit, in my opinion.
Let's do this first, and then we can go into that.
What?
Your list of the worst movies, mate.
He's 80 years old. I'm so happy he's still with us, by the way.
Fuck, Eric Idle's a prick anyway, so I don't really give a shit.
Is he?
He's with a,
I don't know.
He's a cock. He's an absolute fucking cock.
Hang on. What's this based on? I mean, because I know John Cleese has almost gone full gammon.
Eric Idle's not far behind him.
Really?
Yeah, he's not fucking far behind him. He's just another bourgeois twat. Yeah. And he's said some stupid things about, you know, about the trans issues and things like that. And he's a bit of a cockwobble. Yeah, it is.
Well,
but okay.
I like Nuns on the Run. Nuns on the Run. Remember that?
At least we still have Michael Palin.
Yeah, we still have Michael Palin.
Well, his worst favorite film for me was one where it was a lot of people in it, which was Alan Smithy Died, Hollywood Die, or what it was called. That's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. No one here has actually seen it. Go watch it. It is terrible.
Splitting
what year?
Hairs, by the way.
I love Splitting Hairs. Splitting Hairs is an awesome film.
Yeah,
I loved him in Baron Munchausen is what I loved him in. Oh, he was awesome in that.
Yeah, Baron Munchausen. Yeah, it was great in that. Oh yeah, an Alan Smithy film, Burn Hollywood Burn or something like that. Is that what
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's got 3.5 on the.
He was in European Vacation.
European Vacation at least actually had some decent jokes.
Oh yeah, he was the guy on the cycle who kept getting knocked over and was very polite.
Yeah.
I remember.
My favorite one of all the vacation films. I love it. It's awesome. All right, let's go into my one. So number 10, same with Zam, The Grinch. No need to say anymore. I love Jim Carrey doing comedy. After like he got off to a good start, the premise of him ran thin, and so yeah, I didn't like The Grinch. The Family Man.
Sorry, just before we briefly move on, do you think what's really hurt The Grinch in a lot of people's view? Oh, fuck off, Rick B. Do you think what's really hurt The Grinch in a lot of ways is the fact that it's sort of taken on a life of its own outside of the movie? The fact that we're seeing more people dressing up as the Grinch and impersonating Jim Carrey in live action now. Pretty much almost every high street in town.
Yeah, they all try to act like fucking Jim Carrey, and it's like that's not what the Grinch is it? But that doesn't bother me. I just didn't like the film. You know what I mean? Like, if people want to dress up as the Grinch and play like him, there's a really funny one where like parents will actually pay actors who dress up as a Grinch to come to the house and just destroy the house.
Like,
yeah.
I've never understood that.
Well, the Grinch has been around for a long time, hasn't it? So.
Some of the videos I've seen are just hilarious. Like, there's this one kid. His little kid is in his boxer shorts, and as like Grinch comes in, you see the kid screaming. Then he like flexes and he just jumps on the Grinch and starts wailing on him. The kid's like 6 years old. He's fucking wailing on the Grinch. Oh, it's brilliant. Okay, number 9, The Family Man. That's with Nicolas Cage and Téa Leone. Just a boring film. It's one of those kind of he's high executive, living the fucking fast lane, rich capitalism, blah, blah, blah. Then, has a life swap where he wakes up and it's the life that he could have had, which is just family, kids, and all this kind of crap. And it just bored the shit out of me. What's this? Cara Hughes. Hello, Cara. I've always had a soft spot for A Muppet Christmas Carol. Well, we'll be releasing our favorite Christmas films around near Christmas time, so keep an eye out for that. And you can put your favorite Christmas films in the comments. Okay, number 8, got Deck the Halls. I hate that film with a passion. Number 7, Bad Santa 2. Number 6, I'm with Shredder on this one as well. Love Actually. It's actually a bad film. Like, I hated this film when it first came out. Like, I just found it massively inappropriate for a lot of the things, like some of the power dynamics in the relationships and all this kind of, and Andrew Lincoln just being a fucking creep. And I do not like that film at all. I think it's massively overrated. Number 5, Christmas with the Cranks. Number 4, I hate that film. And number 4, Jack Frost as well, garbage film. Number 3, the Hallmark films. Again, they're all the same, so they just count as one. Number 2, Fred Claus. God damn, fucking Vince Vaughn. I can't stand the guy. He's not funny. I only liked him in Maid and Swingers. That was it.
I liked him in Jurassic Park too.
I never. And number 1 is Elf. I hate this film with a goddamn passion. I don't know what the hell people see in it. Will Ferrell is just one of those people where I've got 2 films of his that I like, which are Blades of Glory and Anchorman, but everything else, I just want to punch him in the face. Yeah, he's so.
What, even Talladega Nights, or is the recent one he did?
I hate that film. No, I hate it.
What about Step Brothers? I love him in Step Brothers. Man.
I like it. It's just Will Ferrell doing Will Ferrell and everything.
Yeah.
In Anchorman, it's not so much Will Ferrell; it's everyone in it that makes it a great film. Because Christina Applegate was fantastic in it. The best one was obviously Paul Rudd. He was great in it as Brian Fantana. And Blades of Glory, he just had great chemistry with John Heder from Napoleon Dynamite. They had great chemistry in that, and I really love that film. But everything else of it is, apart from Stranger Than Fiction, where he played like a more, serious role. That's a great film, Stranger Than Fiction. Emma Thomas, Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's awesome. Vance, hello. Sunday and the Church of Nerdtube. Well, it's Saturday today, mate.
Yeah. He
He realized that
crap it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gained his character. He's gained a day. Well done. You get to enjoy your day. So yeah, that's my top 10. Not much different from your lots. I think The Family Man was the only new addition really to everyone else's. But yeah, let us know in the comments what your worst Christmas films are. We're just shooting the shit here today. We've got nothing else to do.
Although it's strange. It's strange that by and large that we actually had quite a diverse list for what we think constitute the worst Christmas movies ever. I mean, none of you guys had, again, A Bad Mom's Christmas from my list. None of you guys had Santa with Muscles or Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. None of you had National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2. And, obviously, I didn't have a lot of the stuff that you guys had in your lists.
Yeah. I've never watched Home Alone 3. I've never watched, like, some of the films. The Santa Claus stuff.
I think only Gary had Jingle All the Way on his list.
Yeah, nobody had the Star Wars Holiday Special but me, which was kind of surprising. Nobody else had Home Alone 2, which obviously I think
we all of us had a Home Alone movie. Well, sorry, 3 of us at least had a Home Alone movie.
Which is kind of surprising. And was I the only one who had Earn a Safe Christmas, or did any of you else have?
Sam was the only one. Sam, you were the only one who had to Earn a Safe Christmas.
Yeah, so I had Holiday Special, Daniel Vance. I mean, that is it's an abomination. I fucking hate it.
Okay, quick question: if you were to actually come up with like the worst comedy Christmas movie on your list, what would you guys say it was?
Pretty much comedies to a degree, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Elf.
Right?
Elf and the Grinch. Yeah.
Gaz?
And Fred Claus.
I'd probably say Deck the Halls because that was supposed to be a comedy but wasn't funny.
Yeah, right, yours?
I've got a challenge to all of you guys, which is to watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2 and dare say that Elf is somehow fucking worse than that movie.
Well, I'm sure if I watch it, it won't be, but I've never watched it, so I can't really comment. Yeah.
What's the Tom Hanks animated Christmas movie with the
Polar Express
faces?
Oh, I love that movie.
Polar Express.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already recorded our favorite Christmas films and our favorite Christmas TV episodes / specials as well, so you guys can all keep an eye on that. They'll be coming out later down the line, and then you lot can put your ones in the comments as well, because we do like the TV specials one. Surprised me. It was everyone did a great fucking job in that, and there are some great surprises in that. For favorites, we haven't done worst, but it's difficult to gauge which is worst because
I had to like the best ones. I had to really rack my brain on that because I only managed to do a top 5. It was difficult. It really was.
Yeah. Well, but that's the beauty of it, because films is very easy to kind of do, but when you think about your TV stuff, for some it's like you had to I had to really think about it as well, because a lot of them are crap.
Well, I was able to quite easily come up with a top 10, but there were certain franchises. So I won't spoil what I put on my list, but certain franchises like The Simpsons and King of the Hill that had several really good Christmas episodes. So it was tough to narrow it down to even just like one.
Yeah, for me, like lasting impression. I mean, there's Christmas specials all over until the cows come home. But like that lasting impression, there wasn't many, and then I really had to think about it and remind myself which were good ones.
Yeah, I think that's it's ones that I would rewatch over and over again as well. And so all the ones on my list are ones that I've rewatched like multiple times. And one of those is from a show that I wasn't even a big fan of the show, but their specials were really good. You know, so, but yeah.
So
Right.
I just want to say, I don't know what you guys are watching right now, which is kind of unique to yourself, because I started watching a series that is already finished now. It only had 4 seasons, so I'm very happy to binge all 4 seasons, and I'm on season 2 of a show called Succession. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that or heard
Yeah,
about it.
I
I've heard
watched
of
the
it, but
first
not
2 seasons. I wasn't a big fan of it.
It's very, in a way, it's very much it's really weird in a way. You're following a family that pretty much has it all, and they're not happy with life. I think they very much appreciate skullduggery and fucking people over. Those elements in your character are are looked upon, very highly. That if you are a backstabber, if you are able to blackmail people, if you do have dirt on somebody, if
Yeah,
you're capable of doing that, people will think, look at you, go, yeah, you're really a really good
it's pretty
guy.
much a Vince McMahon wet dream. You know,
Yeah,
a Vince
a big
McMahon
game,
type.
a bit Games of Thronesy as well. And the first season was a bit interesting initially. Kieran Culkin's in this. He's a fucking little cunt, and I'm
Oh,
so
he's such a great
surprised.
actor. He
Yeah,
was my favorite character in it.
I'm so surprised that he doesn't get fucked over as much as he does, because he seems to come up with all this sarcasm, all these quips and comments of like real like cruelty, and he's such an asshole in this show. And you think to yourself, why the fuck is nobody beating the shit out of him just yet? It's so bizarre, and like I said, like you watching these people who are living a serious high life, like they don't, like people like us can never experience the sort of life these guys live. They go for a weekend. They'll fly to Hungary to go hunting boar and stuff like that. They've got homes and villas and castles all over the planet. They can just pop into whenever they fucking want. Doesn't matter what. They don't need to stay at a hotel. They've got houses everywhere. And even certain things they might have to do, like one particular rich person that had to carry the bags for his mum, and he got really pissed off with his PA because he's carrying the luggage himself. Like, look at me, I'm carrying luggage. Why am I carrying luggage? I shouldn't be carrying luggage. All of this sort of shit. I'm rich. I'm fucking, but like I said, the people there, there's all types of different types of characters, and they're all trying to fuck each other over. It's a bit Games of Thronesy, and like I said, it's very fascinating knowing that these guys have got so much money that they're willing to spend like 25 billion on trying to do a corporate takeover of one of their opponents and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, you got 25 fucking billion. Why are you worrying? Like, you got 25 fucking billion. You got so many.
It's a political satire on
the Murdochs.
billionaire class.
No, but it's definitely about the Murdochs, in my opinion.
The Murdochs, the Kochs, the McMahons, you fucking name it. They're all the same.
But it's not about like, usually when you follow rich people, sometimes they're like oil rich billionaires and stuff like that. These are media billionaires. These are people who own like your Fox, their version of Fox News and stuff like that. Which is, so they have like a massive reign on politics and stuff like that. They're keeping the president on hold who wants to speak to them. It's fascinating, but overall, but watching this entire show, it's just Brian Cox, man. I just can't. Sorry, I just can't get enough of this guy. He is so good as this Rupert Murdoch type of character. He is so good, and at the same time, the people who he worries about the most, but at the same time are his allies, and are the people who are supposed to be his succession, are his kids. It's weird in a way. It's so weird that you should like the one thing for rich people, especially this rich, like people like Brian Cox's character, is mortality. It's the worst thing for them, because they can buy everything and anything, but they can't buy staying alive forever, and they don't want that. They don't necessarily want to pass on their power to their kids. They want to remain in power for as long as fucking humanly possible. There's this strength and weakness game and mentality they constantly play. The idea of just like retiring and shit is weakness for somebody like Brian Cox's character. He doesn't want to fucking retire. He wants to stay in power and command and tell everybody what to do. He makes people fucking beg and shit like that. Treats people like shit all the fucking time. And it's absolutely fascinating. His performance is brilliant. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
This sounds absolutely like 100% like a biopic of Rupert Murdoch.
It 100% is.
It pretty much, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But am I right in hearing that Brian Cox has been nominated for an Emmy for his role, his part in Succession?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't finished watching. I'm only 2 seasons in, but
It's
when
written.
there's 2 more seasons,
It's
yeah.
written by the guy that wrote it, Jess Armstrong, who wrote Peep Show, In the Loop, Four Lions, you know, things like that. He this is his show, like he created it, and yeah, he's really fucking talented. But for me, watching it, I just felt like, again, I've seen it before. Like I've seen this kind of stuff before, so it wasn't enough to keep me gripped. But for those that kind of aren't privy to all that kind of stuff going on and all of that, it's a great watch. Like the acting is brilliant in it. The writing is, of course, phenomenal. But yeah, like if you've seen Dynasty and Dallas, it's kind of similar to that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's similar, but those were still family orientated shows to a degree. This ain't. You know what I mean? They are fucking. There's sex, there's drugs, and there's a lot of fucking vulgar language. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of vulgar moments too. It's it's very good, very interesting, and just seeing everyone clawing over each other, trying to fuck each other over, and have one on top of each other, and shit like that. And yet at the same time, what always makes me fascinated watching it is how well off these people are and will always be, and yet somehow they're just never satisfied with what they got. It's just crazy, you know. It's bizarre. Yeah.
All right, Gary, what you watching? Anything now that you're enjoying?
I've started watching a show on Netflix called Travelers, which is basically a time travel. No, it's actually about time travel. So basically, what it is that these people are from I hate the word post-apocalyptic, but apocalyptic future, but they can transfer their consciousness to other people who kind of died in the past. So and the thing is that people around them don't know that this has happened and basically are reacting to these total personality changes to what's happened. Like one of them's a drug addict, one of them had mental health problems, one of them was like a cage fighter, like an MMA fighter and stuff like that. And they're acting totally different. And people are going, well, like, what's going on with this guy? And you're having to figure out what's going on. I like that. I mean, I'm a huge fan of time travel stuff anyway, so it's right up my alley. I want to start watching The Bear because I watched that. Because I watched the film Chef, and oh my god, Chef's so good.
Oh, so Chef's a great film.
The one with Bradley
you can tell
Cooper.
Jon Favreau loves like his food and his cooking by watching that film, which he does. He's like a qualified
Bradley
chef.
Cooper.
No, Chef is the one with Jon Favreau, isn't it?
Oh, okay, so I don't know what the one with Bradley Cooper is. I know he plays a sort of Gordon Ramsay-esque type chef himself.
Another one you're talking about. Funnily enough, Bradley Cooper also.
We're not ignoring you, by the way, Cara. I apologize. We'll get to the comments later.
Yeah. He kind of his first kind of big thing that he starred in was a short-lived sitcom called Kitchen Confidential, which is fucking brilliant, and it had really good actors in it. Like it had him, it had John Cho, you know, who plays Harold from Harold and Kumar. It also had the Brazilian gorgeous what's her name, Morwena Baccarin, who was in like the Firefly series. And it was a great sitcom. It only had 13 episodes though, because again, you put something on Fox, and if it's not a success after 2 episodes, they'll cancel it. So yeah, he played that. So I kind of find it funny when he did a film playing a similar character to the one he played in that sitcom. It was kind of like a rehashing of that role. But Chef is the one with Jon Favreau, and it's a really good film. It's worth a watch.
Guys were talking about The Bear. I've seen both seasons now. My God, like just looking at the food, it is absolutely fascinating. And the show itself is like, don't expect major twists and turns and all of that. It is very much slice of life sort of drama, ups and downs. You know, something's good, something's bad happening to you. Nothing's ever perfect. And it's just really great to watch. But on top of that, you got all this food as well. And they had a really good Christmas episode too, which had Jamie Lee Curtis in it, playing a mum who's getting drunk while making Christmas dinner, and it was just excellent. But just seeing all this food, and so many major cameos. Like season 2 had people like God, what is it? Olivia Colson, the British actress. Coleman, sorry, and Will Poulter and people like that in there, and John Bernthal, and obviously Jamie Lee Curtis and Bob Odenkirk and people like that, and Oliver Platt's been in a few episodes. Yeah, it's a really, really good show. But don't expect anything spectacular to happen every time you watch it. It's just a drama. It's like watching a play. It really is. It's just like watching a play. And like I said, the food, wow, like the food looks great. If you're a foodie, man, you're gonna fucking love this show. Some beautiful food on display.
Cool. Anything else, guys?
What else have I been watching? I'm watching that show that Zam recommended to me, that Obliterate. I like that.
Obliterate was awesome, man. I don't know why you didn't like it, Ginger. Obliterated was good fun, man. It's good.
A lot of shit I don't like these days. I'm just bored, Sam. I'm just bored of a lot of shit.
It was totally
yeah.
It's not perfect. If you watch my review and spoilers, I gave it a 7 out of 10. So it's far from being amazing, but it did a decent enough job. Like there was some stupid jokes and stupid moments. I can't believe how much penis was on my screen. Rick B would have fucking loved it. You know what I mean? So much fucking, you know what I mean? So much flaccid penis on my screen. It was unbelievable. But regardless, some interesting jokes, some sick jokes, some funny jokes, and like I said, it felt like an amalgamation of many things we've seen before, but done in a unique way. You know, so yeah, I recommend it. It's on Thingy now, and what's on Thingy now on Amazon Prime right now, which I'm gonna have to get onto, is Jack Reacher season 2. So prepare for reviews of that.
Yeah, that pile of fucking shite as well.
Yeah. Before let's just get to some comments here. So we were talking about the movies. He said Brian Cox is a brilliant actor. He was brilliant as Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, he was. He was in the original Silence of the Lambs film. What was it called? Red something? Manhunter. That's it. Yeah. It's based on the Murdochs. Kari, who was asking Rick B. Brian Cox is wonderful, and when he told David Starsky a new one about his sons of Edward IV, and also says, come to think of it, it may have been his brother. He told Starsky off assuming someone's
Starsky, not Starsky, you fucking illiterate.
Starsky. I say, I'm sorry, I'm reading very quickly. I couldn't watch food shows at the moment. Let's just say I had a bad night, expulsion wise. Okay. EastEnders is brilliant at the moment. Oh, well, fuck off. That's I'm sorry.
That's the worst thing you've ever said, Rick.
Yeah. Rick B, they can go take a running jump to laugh out loud. Not quite my cup of tea. And when did he ever have a go at David Starkey?
They were on Question Time together.
Question Time, yeah.
And
Starkey and Hutch.
No, Brian Cox had to school David Starkey about Shakespearean plays.
Awesome. I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in X-Men too, wasn't he? He played what was that character?
Yeah,
Striker, yeah.
It annoyed me because Striker is a reverend. He's not a fucking military man. He is an evangelical fundamentalist, and really pissed me off when he came in. He was a fucking military man. It was just like
it's just how Hollywood does things, though, don't they? I mean, they change shit around. They made. We spoke about this very briefly yesterday. They made Juggernaut into a mutant when he's not a mutant. He powers from magic. So and he's also
a crystal.
And he's also supposed to be Xavier's stepbrother, and he's not in this. And Xavier ends up having a stepsister who's fucking Mystique, which was really a bad retcon in my opinion. But there you go. So
they're like shit soap operas. Anyway, Shredder, what are you watching at the moment? Anything?
Well, I've been obviously keeping up with Rick and Morty. I'm actually really enjoying the new season again without Justin Roiland. I've been binge watching Invincible. I only got into that like a couple months ago, and I binge watched the entire first season in about 2 days, and this was only about a week before the Atom Eve special came out. and I've been watching that. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
watching season 2 every week until obviously the mid-season finale.
Which is
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
ridiculous. No, but like,
Yeah.
have a mid. Just to ask you, Shredder,
Don't
like,
spoil it. I
you know,
haven't watched season 2
no,
yet.
but
'cause
no, I'm not gonna
Wow.
spoil season 2, but there's only 8 episodes. Yeah, and they're having a mid-season break with after 4 episodes, and the second half might not come out until sometime in late January, early February. Don't you think that's fucking ridiculous? Like, it's just so stupid. Like, we've been waiting for like 2 years for this second season, and they give us a mid-season break when the first season didn't have that. I'm really pissed off.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, again, I'm not overly thrilled about it, but it is what it is. It's something you just have to deal with. There's not a hell of a lot I've been watching lately that's brand new. I mean, I've been watching, I think, obviously the latest incarnation of Beavis and Butthead, which again I've been really thoroughly enjoying.
My judges,
I like the twist that they've done on it as well. So they've actually got 3 different incarnations of Beavis and Butthead. So you've got them as teenagers. You then have an alternate universe where Beavis and Butthead actually grew up, and they're in their 50s now. And you've got from an alternate universe, Smart Beavis and Smart Butthead.
Oh, that was the film, wasn't it?
They were introduced in the film, but they actually kept them for the series. So
there's
again,
a series out. I didn't even know there was a series out.
Yeah, they've had
they rebooted it. They came into the future and they were given a house by the government.
All right.
The reboot of it again is the rebooted series again. They have the 3 different incarnations of Beavis and Butthead, which all were introduced in Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. So again, Smart Beavis and Smart Butthead have had their own episodes, and also when they show in Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, they show Beavis and Butthead what they look like as adults in the present timeline. Those versions actually do get their own episodes.
Oh, right, okay.
And again, they're very, very well done. They're actually rather funny. So again, thoroughly enjoyed that. I would like to see a 3rd season of it because again, it's been really, really good. The latest thing I could probably say otherwise that I've been watching, I'm starting to work my way through the show The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
I just remember the Charlie Sheen.
I see that.
Oh, that's where he's a cop, isn't it? He becomes a cop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I think it's on like the 8th season. I think
it's like in the 5th. No, that's like 5 seasons now.
Yeah.
I mean,
so like all of them are really good.
Yeah, again, I think I'm currently in like the early stages of season 2, and so far I've actually really enjoyed it. It's one of those shows that I am going to try and make a concerted effort to watch, hopefully before the end of January, and get caught up with the whole thing. Because again,
it's added to my list.
So it's one that
Mr. System.
It's one that I really want to see. Otherwise, I've been going back and watching some older series as well. Things like The Thick of It. I've been rewatching that as of late, and I've got a much greater appreciation for Peter Capaldi and how he carried that season. How he carried it after from the second season. After Chris Langham,
he got exposed as a nonce.
Yeah, after Chris Langham was exposed as a paedophile and he was fired, obviously. Yeah. But Peter Capaldi, how he carried that whole show afterwards, and obviously, the movie In the Loop, which was a spin-off from it.
Yeah,
and it's brilliant as well because we're obviously of an age where we lived through the Blair years and Alistair Campbell, who Malcolm Tucker was supposed to be an obvious send-up of.
Yeah.
So I mean, to the point where I believe Mark Kermode interviewed Alistair Campbell. They reviewed the film In the Loop together, and Alistair Campbell, he initially thought it was funny at first, but then when he sort of realized that it was him, it stopped being funny to him. But he admitted that that he said some of the same things that Malcolm Tucker says. Like Alistair Campbell has admitted he has actually said, "Come the fuck in or fuck the fuck off."
Oh, what a slimy cretin he is.
Yeah, again, I've been rewatching that, and also occasionally I'll go back and watch something like A Touch of Frost with David Jason.
What show that is?
again, well, what a tremendous show that was. It still holds up to this day.
No, Touch of Frost. I never watched it.
Oh, trust me, it's something I would actually, I would honestly advise go back and watch it because it is perhaps David Jason's finest work as an actor. You know, again, everybody remembers
what a lot of people say. People will say like
remembers him.
It was not his best.
Yeah, everybody remembers like the comedic work he did as Del Boy Trotter, or just because of how iconic it was, his voice acting work, things like that.
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse.
Open
yep.
open all hours.
Count
Open all
Dracula.
hours. Oh my god, yeah. Stuff like that,
things like that. Again, he's lent his voice to a lot of things as well. But again, obviously, he was in Open All Hours. But his finest piece of acting was probably as Detective Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I've just got some comments here. Real Life Squid Games on Netflix. You guys seen that shit?
I tried to watch it.
No.
I couldn't get to it. No.
It's a load of bollocks. Oh, here's something controversial for our Whovians in the room. No, I haven't been watching very much new stuff recently. Doctor Who can go take a running jump is just too awful.
No, I really like it.
That's racism. That is.
I haven't really watched it, so I can't really comment.
That's racism.
I don't watch Doctor Who anymore. After Sylvester McCoy in the movie, I was done.
I gave up after David Tennant. I tried getting into the Matt Smith season. I just couldn't.
No.
I also got.
Moffat,
I did get a little back into it with the Peter Capaldi season, but there was some aspects of it that just really irked me to the point where it's like, yeah, you know what? The writing on this is not all that great. So I just cashed out. I mean, John Sim, I thought was absolutely phenomenal in the part of the Master when they cast him in that role. I thought he was great when they brought that in, and
I'm joking, Cara. I call everything racism. Don't worry.
I call everybody racist.
Yeah, what annoyed me was when they brought in the character Missy during the Capaldi years.
Yes.
And I thought Missy was a very, very interesting character in her own right. But when they started, again, a couple more episodes in, I got this horrible sinking feeling, oh God, they're going to reveal that she's the Master. And I thought, oh, please do not reveal that she's the Master. Keep her as her own distinct, separate, unique character. But no, it turned out, obviously, I was right, and she was the regeneration of the Master.
Yeah. Bad move, really. It's nowhere near go woke, go broke, Rick. I hate to burst your bubble, mate. And Doctor Who's always been woke. Again.
Yeah, and hang on, this is Rick B, the guy who said that he thinks Lady Ballers was like a great movie. I mean, this, from the Daily Wire, the guys who basically epitomized the term "go fash, lose cash."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've been watching. I just started watching Blue Eyed Samurai after Leia kind of talked about it.
I think that is brilliant.
So good. Yeah, so far so good. Enjoying that. And Bookie. And the only reason I watched Bookie, which I can't remember what streaming platform, I think it's on HBO. But Bookie's like a comedy with a guy who's basically illegal bookie. Takes people's orders, collects cash, all this kind of shit. And the only reason I know about it is because they mentioned that Charlie Sheen and Angus, what's his name, from 2.5 Men, recreated the scene of the poker table that they had in one of the episodes of 2.5 Men. So it's just the fact that Angus had come back, after he fucking left because he became a religious, like, devout, born again retard.
Oh, is Angus the one who played like the young boy, the son?
Yes.
Yeah. It was that and all of that. And so I was just interested to see like Charlie Sheen and him like kind of reuniting a little poker scene. So it was a really good scene, actually, to be fair. Angus doesn't do much, but it's just Charlie Sheen getting like threatened by the bookie because he's got like gambling debts and all of that. And just Charlie Sheen, I do love him as a comedic actor. I think he's just so good. Just a shame he just is a complete nut job. But the show's nothing special. After that scene, everything else is just bleh. But that's all I've been watching, really. Everything else just kind of, I've got Paramount Plus for like really cheap for the next couple of months. So I've just been watching South Park mainly, and a couple of old films. I watched The Creator as well, and I said that film is a great film. There's a great film there, but ruined by the editing process. The way they edited that film together, they just absolutely butchered it. So think of how Star Wars was saved by great editing. This film was ruined by great editing. And it's a fucking shame. But so I wouldn't bother wasting the time with that film. That's it, really. I not really been watching much else. I just, very just tired of a lot of things. Nothing grabs my balls much anymore. We was talking a lot about. Sorry, go on.
I was going to tell you about an incident that happened with me while I was working.
Oh, 1 second, Zam. Before you do that,
Yeah,
I just want to go to this comment here. Christopher Eccleston said he'll come back to Doctor Who if they sack Russell T Davies, and they also said if they'd sack a whole load of other producers. But look, one thing you need to know about Christopher Eccleston, he's a whiny little bitch. He's a typical mank. He just fucking pisses and whines all the time, and he's never happy with anything. Any fucking role he's ever done, he's praising it out of one side of his mouth, shitting on it on the other side. He always fucking complains. He always plays a victim. So I don't take anything he says fucking serious. He winds me up. He really does. He's a fantastic actor, but he fucking winds me up.
I like to think he played
Isn't it
Destro.
noticeable the fact that Doctor Who's worst years were without Russell T Davies? It seems that his coming back has actually led to the revival of the show.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that and David Tennant coming back. Let's be honest. David Tennant coming back is really what's drawn people in, because a lot of the casuals won't fucking know anything about the writing and the producing and all that. They're just like, oh, David Tennant. And
everyone remembers the Tennant years as superb.
Huh?
Everybody
I
remembers
loved them.
The Tennant years as being absolutely superb.
They were
fantastic. Yeah, I loved it. I bowed out the minute Russell left and Moffat came in, which nothing like Moffat's other stuff is good, but I tried. I did a couple of episodes, 4 episodes with Matt Smith. I was like, this is wank. And I still have an issue with Doctor Who being really dumbed down, even by today in today's standards. But with Russell T Davies, you're just going to get camp, silly fun with it, and I'm okay with that. I'm down for the ride. And he did do some really great moments with Rose, in his run as well, and all this kind of stuff. So he could bring the serious out when he needs to. But with Moffat, I just couldn't get into it. So I bowed out. Anyway, Zan, you were saying?
Yeah. I've been cabbing now for 10 years. Funny enough, and in those 10 years, I've never picked up the wrong person in my 10 years of doing this job. But the other day, I did some night work, and because I found a really good long distance job that took me to Chelmsford and Essex, would pay a pretty penny. It means also I can get home, just jump on the M25. I'll get home really quickly as well. And so I'm waiting now for this person, and I get a phone call telling me, yeah, we're going to be about 20 minutes late. Don't go anywhere. I went, fine, no problem. And then next thing you know, this dude just jumps and sits in my car, and I think, okay. And he's kind of stone-faced. He's wearing a tuxedo, and he's ginger, funny enough. He's got a beard and everything. I ask him, are we going to so-and-so place? And he goes, yeah. All right, fine. And then we start driving. He falls asleep in the back of my car. Start listening to some podcasts as I'm driving, but I don't give a fuck because he's sleeping. And then he starts waking up and starts coughing. I think, shit, this fucker's going to throw up. So I open up the door, and he gets out. He does start puking everywhere. And he goes, thanks, mate. Thanks very much. I go, no problem. I had some tissues, gave him some of that to wipe his mouth with. Get back in my car, take him to his place. I go, here you go, sir. We're here. And he goes to me, I don't know where I am. Like that. I think, what? And this is like fucking 1:30 in the fucking morning, yeah? Because I don't know where I am. I'm thinking, mate, I told you we're going to this location. And he said, yeah. And go, yeah, well, I don't live here. And so I said to him, where do you live? Because I wasn't necessarily going to just leave him there, but I was maybe drop him off to a station or something to get him home. With worst case scenario. But if you lived in South London, good luck to you, mate. I ain't fucking taking you there. But he goes to me. I don't know when I asked him where he lives. I go, I'm really sorry, mate. You gotta get out my car because after this, it's like I can't be dealing with this shit. You know what I mean? So I told him to get the fuck out my car, and then I drove off. And I rang up my work and I told them exactly what happened, but I'm not going to bullshit about this and say mum's the word. Shit does like this does happen. Happened to me for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah.
And my work told me, don't worry about it. You know, we tried ringing up the people. They're not answering their phone, so don't worry about it. There's nothing more we can do.
Oh, so the other people didn't even show up either.
Well, I thought he was the other people. I thought he was.
Yeah, I know you thought that, but
yeah,
your company
but they weren't even answering their phone.
People.
Well, they probably, they were like this fucking. They were probably at some Christmas party, getting their their tits wasted because on the company's dime because they could do. I don't blame them. I've done the same in the past. Yeah, but they wanted me to wait 20 minutes. They never. I waited 30 minutes, and finally this fucker shows up, and I thought that was him or their representative, which they're calling me about, and that happens a lot too. But no, this motherfucker just randomly got in my car and thought I was going to take him home and never even fucking told me where the fuck he lives. You know, I couldn't even help him. In finding out where he lives because he wouldn't fucking. He told me he doesn't know where the fuck he lives.
What's the other story?
Am I supposed to do?
And what's the other one?
Story?
You said two. You have two stories?
No, that is it. I'm sure I do have other stories. You know, like I've had like famous people in my car who I don't want to say her name. I think I've told you guys about this one particular singer who I was really looking forward to getting into my car, and I was going to ask her for a selfie. But the moment she got in my car, she started choking on my air fresheners, and I realized that
podcast last night.
Yeah, and so that was interesting. I had Neil Lennon in my car the other day, and that was awesome. Neil Lennon's a diamond geezer, mate. Ex-Celtic manager. Obviously, the controversy he had with Northern Ireland being a Catholic guy, but honestly, just having him chatting to him, I picked him up from Heathrow Airport's Sofitel Airport hotel. That's why I picked him up, and I dropped him in Uxbridge somewhere. So it was a short drive, but regardless, we started chatting to him, and I told him, I remember you as a footballer, mate, not just as a manager. And he goes to, and I said to him, I remember you as a footballer, mate, not just as a manager. And he goes, oh, he goes to me, you must be really old then. I go, yeah, I'm 46, and yeah, he was a really cool dude. He noticed my hat, mentioned about Arsenal, we were talking about Arsenal and stuff like that, and and some of the games we played and all of that. Told him I'm not happy with Arteta regarding the old Aaron Ramsdale situation because I think he's made a mountain out of a molehill regarding Aaron Ramsdale and Raya. I think he's knocked Aaron Ramsdale's confidence unnecessarily by bringing in Raya, and he's made both goalkeepers.
Let's talk football here, mate. Because nobody cares apart from me.
Yeah, I know, but that's what we're talking about. Regardless, I mean, actually, all four of us are football fans, but regardless, he was a cool dude, and I do get lots of celebrities in my job, and it's always nice when you get them. I try to, if I feel I can, maybe ask them for a selfie, especially some of the really symbolic ones like Dominic Cooper or Ben Wallace, people like that who've been in massive franchises. Having Tony Stark's dad in my fucking car, Howard Stark. You know what I mean? You got to fucking take a picture with the dude.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Here, look, this one's related. I had that with a blind date once. I was sitting at the table when this guy sat down opposite me and glared at me. I tried introducing myself, no response. Fucking must have been on crack or something. Damn it. I expected myself to go to the ladies and check my phone. My date had cancelled. God knows who this guy was. I got back to the table, smiled, said, sorry, I have somewhere to go.
Jeez, that must have been frightening.
And that was the last time she ever sat down for a dinner with Gary.
I bought a wine and everything.
Yeah, some chicks, mate, they just got no gratitude. The current Doctor Who series has an audience rating of 4. Yeah, of course, because fucking whiny little right wingers crying about wokeism. The viewership went down with each special episode.
Only by a little bit, it did. Only by a little bit. I think it only lost like 500 people, which for a series is nought. So don't lie, you Fibby. You know,
There you go. Nice
God,
try.
We have a guy
Join.
called James.
Hello,
Is
Jay.
he a
Welcome.
Chelsea fan? Is he a Chelsea fan? He
Yeah.
looks like a Chelsea fan. Yeah,
Is
well
it?
done today.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
looks
and
like Chelsea.
by the way, I wouldn't really particularly go with a Rotten Tomatoes review score because, as we pointed out, Lady Ballers currently has a 90% audience score.
Which makes it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
one of the best comedies ever
Daily
made.
Wire audience.
Well, funny enough, you mentioned about reviews and audience scores. Like, I was looking for something to eat on Just Eat the other day, and I saw this one food place which had lots of reviews. So I looked at the reviews, and everyone who gave it a 5-star review, Muhammad. Loads of 5-star. I thought, fuck
Less than
this.
500. I said over 500.
No, but I'm just saying regarding this particular place I wanted to eat at. I was going to buy food, but I look at the reviews and then I read the reviews of a place I've never been to before, and like the amount of Mohammeds, it's the same Mohammed, 5-star. I thought, yeah, this place is shit.
And let me guess, they all recommended the barbecue pork.
Yeah, from this halal kebab shop, yeah, for sure.
All right.
Hybrid. Yeah.
Okay.
What's
So
it?
sorry.
Sorry. Hybrid Zam. If he introduced himself and we could have parted amicably, I didn't know what the hell he wanted or who he was. It turned out like, look, you're a girl, Cara. That's all that matters. Honestly, that really is the guy who is trying his fucking chances. We us men, trust me, on the night out, we're fucking one-dimensional as fuck. We really are.
Okay, so
Really are.
so Rick, you said before that the numbers dropped off. I've got the numbers here. So for special one, the specials were 5.8 million viewers, which were consolidated into 7.6 million. So for special 2, it was 4.83 million, consolidated into 7.1. And the second one, the third one was 4.62 million, and there's no consolidated issue. So forgive me if you're talking bollocks again. Sorry.
Well, I mean, there was a drop though.
Yes,
But it's
not significant.
massive.
Not a significant one.
Not a significant drop. Yeah.
So I
But,
was just watching some like
4 million people just like, yeah. If you watch like, I wonder what the ratings on EastEnders were. Because remember, once upon a time that inquiry was stable with like 14, 15, 17 million viewers. That was the stable viewership. Of course, I'm talking about the 90s.
Yeah,
Did they even break 2 million these days? Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on.
I'd be interested.
What were the
Somebody get
viewer
that up.
numbers?
But Rick B, you've got to watch the Christmas special of Doctor Who. It looks really fucking good.
Well,
It's got
I was
goblins in it.
it's funny in a way. Like the way I watch wrestling now is watch little clippets of promos on fucking YouTube, and lo and behold, and we have another comeback story. AJ Styles, and I can't believe how absolutely ripped he looks. By the way, you can tell he's been working out. Yeah, he's been absolutely pumping the weight since he's been off. And it looks like he wants it. It's really weird because obviously Randy Orton wants a shot at the Tribal Chief, and now obviously AJ Styles is back and LA Knight is still lurking around. It's going to be very interesting to see who fights him at Royal Rumble. I think it's going to be Randy Orton personally.
Probably, yeah. It's an easy win for the Chief. Rick B, how can you rate it? Even if it's great now, I don't watch TV anymore.
The most recent thing I could find with regard to EastEnders viewing figures is from September. This is from an article from Digital Spy in September of this year, and the Tuesday, the September 5th episode became the most watched program of the day with 3.6 million TX a day plus 7 viewers. So what that means is that 2.3 million people actually tuned in to watch EastEnders live. The TX day plus 7 figures are those who also tuned in on iPlayer. So even with a catch-up service, it's only managing less than 4 million viewers.
That's mental. Again, like the one of the highest rated TV shows of all time was the Christmas special where there's Dirty Den. So that was like half the fucking country watched that episode.
But here's the thing, though. Again, despite the fact that fewer people are still watching it, I mean, okay, because obviously there's more variety, the audience is spread a lot thinner when it comes to other shows.
Yeah.
Hence why 3.6 million is still topped out as like the most watched show of the day.
That's true. That's true. Given how audience viewing habits are these days, yeah, that's
Yeah,
very,
again,
very
it's taking a much smaller percentage of the actual audience watching on television or watching on catch-up services, but again, it's still winning, and in terms, it's still taking the biggest share.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I used to look in the
But 4
90s.
million is still good, by the way. 4 million in today's world is really good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
I'm
fucking
just saying, like,
fantastic.
it's
Yeah.
not having the numbers it used to have, but to still pull that many numbers.
Well, I mean,
again,
in the world where
it's
like there's so
impressive.
much shit to watch, like there's so many
Yeah.
channels, so many streaming services. You know, to get 4 million in today's world is fucking amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, again, like I already said, like you're going back to the days when they were pulling in 15 million viewers. The fact is, there were only 4 channels.
No, we had because it was up until like up until 2003 they were pulling in those viewing figures. So you had your Sky Digitals and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but again, again, Sky Digital was not all that commonplace in 2003 still. But again,
No.
A lot of people still only had terrestrial television back in 2003.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just
Again-
that they had terrestrial television. That's still where the main viewers were anyway, regardless, even
Yeah.
with Sky. Because like
But
Sky wasn't.
that's not the case anymore. The fact is, there are a lot more programs accessible, because if you've got your TV hooked up and it's got a Freeview connection, a digital Freeview connection at this point,
Yeah.
you've got a whole wide range of channels now. You're not just limited to the 5 that you would.
Well,
The 4 that
a
you
lot
would have
of
had
the
back in the
viewership-
day.
Yeah.
Back in the day when Dirty Den, obviously, told his wife he wants a divorce. Back in those days, again, there were only 4 channels, and again, terrestrial, you were stuck with 5. So now,
Yeah.
Yep.
Again,
And Channel 4 was only a few years old at the time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you were stuck watching.
And the funny thing is, like regarding the Dirty Den episodes, but when his character got killed off for the second time, like they would actually tell you Dirty Den's gonna die in this episode, so people would watch it knowing that he's gonna fucking die. No surprise. I mean, they were spoiling shit before spoilers became the norm.
I mean, the newspapers used to leak all the spoilers all the time. It used to really fucking wind me up. It was easy to do because everything's filmed so far in advance.
Although it depends. Some of the soaps I know have done things where they've gone to great lengths to keep the outcome secret, the final outcome secret. So, for example, when Coronation Street had a character of a serial killer called Richard Hillman.
Oh, that was a great run. That got me into Coronation Street.
I believe they filmed about 5 different endings. I actually believe they filmed about 5 different endings of how because everybody knew the final scene was going to be that he drives a car with everybody inside it into a river.
That's right.
The only question was who was going to come out alive, and there was like 5. I think there was like 5 different scenes shot of who was actually going to emerge from the wreckage. The only character everybody knew was going to be killed off was Richard Hillman. But was he going to kill anybody else in the family?
Yeah, I'm surprised his career never took off after that because he was spectacular in that.
Oh, he was a really good actor.
Huh? He was, yeah. He's the nicest. Yeah, in real life, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Supposedly, he had an altercation with somebody who had managed to get a hold of a copy of the script off of him. So ITV again, they'd gone to great lengths to keep the final outcome a top secret, and only the main cast who were involved were given access to a script. And what happened was somebody had reportedly stolen this out of the back of a taxi that he was in.
Oh,
he wound up chasing the guy down to try and get it back, and the guy actually legitimately thought this, he couldn't distinguish between the actor and the character of Richard Hillman. He thought that this guy was going to go full Richard Hillman mode and kill him.
Oh God, these people driving. Oh my God, like this sort of shit drives me fucking nuts, man.
Look again. There's been other instances. Coronation Street, the actor who played Les Battersby on that show, he's told the stories about how the fact that he had women coming up to him, threatening him if he ever picked on Curly Watts again.
Oh my god.
Curly Watts, he was a megastar in Canada as a singer, by the way.
Stuff like this. Really, we've spoken about this a few years ago when we were reviewing Captain America. Sorry, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because Wyatt Russell was getting threats, regarding being the new Captain America, and he's portraying John Walker, who is supposed to be this asshole, and shithead, jock version, fucking Chad version of Captain America. So he's doing his job perfectly, and people are pissed off because they're going, people are going, not my captain, and shit like that, and they're sending him death threats and stuff like that. I really hate it when people are this fucking stupid that they can't fucking determine art from fucking fiction, non-fiction. It drives me fucking nuts.
I mean, look, what do you call it? Like Steve McFadden, Phil and Grant. Those actors will tell you the amount of death threats they used to get for their portrayals on TV. It's like people just really they get so engrossed in it and they just take it so fucking seriously. These are the equivalent of the it's real to me, damn it. They're the types.
The funny thing with wrestling fans now. Sorry, Shredder. With wrestling fans nowadays,
all the time. You're right.
Like if they fall for a work, they get mocked. You're supposed to know it's all fucking work. You're not supposed to fall for it. You're just supposed to appreciate the choreography and the storylines. That's how we are as wrestling fans. If anything, we've been to take it seriously to the degree that we believe it's real is actually a form of of humiliation for wrestling fans. We're not supposed to go that far. But people, when it comes to movies and TV shows, are still falling for this shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I was going to say again, pro wrestling. There's the famous video of Dutch Mantel and Jake Hager when they were doing the Real American gimmick.
Oh yes, I remember.
And there's the video of them where they completely drop kayfabe, they drop the green screen, and they address Glenn Beck.
Ted Cruz. Oh, Glenn
Beck.
They
addressed Glenn Beck because Glenn Beck took issue with Glenn Beck took issue with them doing this gimmick where they were portraying these ultra far right anti-immigration types.
Yeah.
Because again, Dutch Mantel, had said, look, Alberto Del Rio is played by my good friend, I can't remember what his legitimate name is. I think it's Jose Rodriguez or something like that. But again, this shit happens all the time. There's people who can't distinguish between the actor and the part they play.
Stuff like that. It just, I find it. Stuff like this upsets me a lot because I expect better from the fucking human race. I really do to a degree. The fact that they fucking still believe that TV is fucking real. Oh God. It's just.
Yeah. Stacey was the one that they wanted to make her the next Janine, wasn't it? When they brought her in, she's still on the fucking show. She is.
I don't really follow the show, so I couldn't honestly tell you who's still in it, who's not.
No, me neither. But she's still in it. Stacey Slater.
You say.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go turn my heating off. I'll be right back.
God, he's on the camera. Get off the camera. Get off the camera, you little fuck.
I don't really watch soaps anymore.
So, sorry. Just a comment here from Cara Hughes. It does happen to actors all the time. Yeah, it does happen to actors all the time. I just, you can, sometimes when it comes to maybe some of the more big budget stuff, people know that Daniel Craig is not fucking James Bond and all of that. But for some reason, when it comes to soaps and stuff, which are a bit more on the regs, it drives me nuts. And thank you very much, Cara, for recognizing that I have the delightful. Well, these are not cockatiels; they're actually parrots. But thank you very much, regardless. I'm glad you remembered me.
But here's the thing, right? Okay, now again, there's some actors who will embrace it. If they're if they played a part from a very, very long time, then they'll embrace they'll embrace the fact that people recognize them in the role. Some of them won't see an issue with it if it's maybe people who are children,
good guys,
for example, or no. But what I'm saying is that, like, people who can't distinguish between actor and character. If it's children, or maybe some people who have mental health issues, or who are on a disability spectrum of some kind, like people with Down syndrome. So you see a lot of that, for example, in pro wrestling. You see pro wrestlers embracing kids and being the character, and and there's other cases, like, for example, there's the wonderful story about Roger Moore and how, when he was playing James Bond, a kid recognized him at the airport, and he didn't know this was Roger Moore. He knew this was James Bond.
Yep.
So he spoke to his, I think it was his granddad that he was with, and they got him to he kept saying, "It's grand, it's Roger Moore." So he eventually approached him, and he said, "Look, my grandson here thinks that you're James Bond." And Roger Moore just looked to his left and his right, and he looked down at his kid, beckoned him in, and he whispered to him. He says, "I am James Bond, but I'm undercover.
Nice.
Keep it down, because I don't want. It's possible that one of Blofeld's agents might know I'm here."
Nice. I like that.
And he signed an autograph to him, and he signed it as James Bond.
Nice.
And he also signed it with his code name that he was going
Roger
under
Moore.
for the flight, Roger Moore.
Nice. I love stuff like that.
So
he was Hollywood, one of the Hollywood's nice guys, I heard. Roger Moore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that's what I've heard as well. But again, it's also very, very beneficial in some cases where people are not able to distinguish between character and actor. I mean, Roger Moore played a very, very suave Englishman in almost every role he was given. Everything from James Bond to The Saint to Sir Brett Lord Brett Sinclair and the Proclaimer.
Cannonball Run. He played a Joker. He played a version of himself.
Oh, the Persuader story. That's what I'm thinking of. But and again, that worked out very, very well for him, because again, I don't know what he was like as a person, but everybody got the impression that Roger Moore was this charming, suave Englishman because of all these parts he played.
Yeah.
I just want to know, Rambo. I actually have a treadmill over there. I go on it every day for 30 minutes, and I still eat I still eat unhealthy like a cunt. But that's the
Rambo, if you're gonna troll, at least be smart with it. Like that's yeah.
Mate, we're fucking. We're middle-aged men on YouTube. What do you expect? Fucking muscles and fucking six packs. I got a 12 pack.
You don't want to get these flabby arms, son.
God damn, this ridiculously poor level of trolling just makes me miss Dixie Comic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, going back to what we've spoken about this many times, but his trolling of Darwell Films was one of the greatest, probably the greatest bit of undercover trolling I've ever fucking seen. I mean, the best, in my opinion. Nothing comes close to that, and that put him on the map for a lot of people. And I hope we could take. We do good with Leia. By the way, we need to ask her to get more involved, more stuff. Leia
I think she's been through a bit of a lot of a rough time recently. So
but somebody. We've all lost people in our lives. Ginger's his father, me, my mother. I'm not sure about yourself, Shredder, but we've all lost people in our lives. And the best thing to do is just to keep yourself active and do stuff. You know what I mean? It really is the best thing. Like when my mom, when my mom died, the first thing I did was, like, within 2 weeks of my mom dying, I started a new career, which I'm still doing now. And that is of a cab driver. And it was really a good thing at the time, because it just kept my mind focused on being good at that job. And it's the easiest job I've ever done in my life. And I'm fucking good at it. There we go.
Yeah, with Dad, when
kebab meat on the
Dad
stick.
died, we were just able to crack on with. There was a lot of stuff in the house that got neglected because obviously he put all his time with the twins, and he just didn't want anyone else working on stuff because that was him, and it was like he's the best you've ever seen at doing carpentry and all this kind of stuff. He was phenomenal. But as soon as he like passed away, we just kept busy with doing all the house repairs and all this kind of shit, and it was just it did help.
Yeah, I mean,
you're fat.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason I'm actually behind on my video review of Lady Ball is because I've been doing some other things. I've actually wound up reconnecting with a relative who I haven't seen in about 14 years.
Oh right.
Yeah. When my biological father passed away early in the year, again, I hadn't spoken to him in about 20 years, but pretty much the only good thing to come of it was that I was able to reconnect with his sister, and my aunt, who I haven't had contact with in about 14 years. And this past week I had a couple of days off, so I went through to Ayrshire, and we actually met up. We had some lunch, spent some time together.
Lovely. When was the last time you saw your aunt?
Again, 14 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my funeral friend is here, by the way. It's disgusting when people think they don't have enough rights when they clearly have too much. Yeah, I agree with you. You be my dictator, funeral friend.
Mate.
You take away my rights.
You have way too many rights. Absolutely.
Take away my food so you can make Rambo very happy regarding my calorie intake. You know what I mean? Well, he also said both Trump and Biden should be locked up there. Well, Biden for being a fucking pussy and Trump for being a criminal, definitely. You know what I mean?
Biden for being fucking, for aiding the genocide in
Palestine. Yeah, I agree with that too. So, unfortunately, whatever president gets in power, whether it be Republican or Democrat, they're gonna fucking aid. You know what I mean?
That's right, mate. Sweet, white, and delicious. That's exactly what my ex used to call me.
But yeah,
inside.
Yeah, so I was just going to discuss, I had a bit of a rough week with wrestling this week, just because I had my 4th match ever, my second singles, and it didn't go as well as I'd hoped.
Mate, you're still training. You're gonna have setbacks when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, but the other person wasn't very happy. The other person got really mad and left, so I felt a bit bad about that.
Oh,
what do you mean? What do you mean the other person got really mad and left?
That's literally what happened. He literally our match was the 3rd one on. He literally got up, fucked off, didn't say hello, fucked off, and went.
Was this somebody who was just brand new, or?
No, he's on shows and shit.
He's on shows. So
yeah, I'm not saying what his name is.
Gary's output, but the guy, you're still training, so.
Yeah, I felt fucking awful about it.
Yeah, but he should be given more constructive criticism rather than just fucking having a tantrum and walking up. That's not professional. That's just being a dick.
He's probably upset that he's not fucking got a contract with AEW.
No, he's only just started himself. He's only just started on shows himself. So
okay, he's just started being on shows. So he's only just slightly, he's only a bit more advanced than the guys who are still in the gym training and learning how to take fucking bumps. And he gets pissed off and walks out during a training match.
No.
Yeah, that's really unprofessional.
It's very unprofessional. Listen, Gary, if you guys are ever in a match next time, a couple of fucking knees to the ribs, mate. Teach him a lesson. Say to him, listen, don't fucking disrespect me. You make sure in this business, if somebody disrespects you like that, you might be green, but that's not the right response. So if somebody disrespects you like that, you fucking let them know. With a couple of jabs, and if it turns into an all out, bro, fuck it.
No, but to be fair to the guy, I understand why, because he was pissed off at me because we'd been practicing it and I kind of just forgot some stuff. And
it doesn't matter, it's not. Some people don't pick things up straight away. It takes a while to get right into the flow of things. His response was just not right.
And look,
you can be frustrated, but you have to be constructive with your criticism.
And again, you can practice shit and practice shit and practice shit. And if you wind up forgetting something in the ring, you're supposed to improvise. I mean, call it in the ring. Nobody knows. The only way somebody's going to know you fucked up is if you both stand there and go,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. No, but
Exactly.
we went on. We went on as best we could, and I tried to do the best I could, and I could tell he's pissed off at me. So
look, if you've forgotten something, why doesn't he just grab you in a headlock, do a fucking headlock takeover, and start talking to you, remind you what you're supposed to be fucking doing if he's calling the match?
Yeah.
Was he stiff with you at all, or were you stiff with him by accident?
No, that's not what happened. So it's hard to explain. Well, so basically, what
I'm
happened
guessing you
was,
botched the spot.
No, so basically, what happened was he wanted me to take no bumps because I'm a lot bigger than he is.
Okay.
So I took a bump off a clothesline because I got told of my previous school I'm not Andre the Giant. That's literally what. So I still had that in my head. He got pissed off at that, and then there was a couple of other things where like I totally forgot a spot because we were kind of out of sync with each other. And I thought, well, he's going to lead me through it because he's had a lot more experience than I would. I mean, he wouldn't he would say something, but he would kind of like, I'll do it. So like he'd be here speaking rather than face me. So like whenever you speak, you got to try and face the person when you speak to them. I was like, what? I was like, really? I did like, and then Sam, sorry, our coach was basically going like, this. And look, I'm not dissing the guy because look, I get why he was upset because the other day, he takes pride in this shit, which I get, but it annoyed me because I was thinking, well, it makes me feel bad because the thing is like, because I'm
but again, look again, if things are not going right, why doesn't he grab you in a fucking headlock and start reminding you what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, that's it.
Guys, put you in a fucking rest hold.
It feels rough the first time you do it, but you get used to it.
Yeah, I can tell that. I've got the same experience. I've tried training in professional wrestling. I did some refereeing. I did some ring announcing too. And yeah, at first it hurts like fuck, particularly if you don't know how to breathe out, you don't know how to tuck your chin properly. You botch, you wind up botching it, and you feel it for days afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean,
there you go.
Yeah. So, I'm not sucking the guy up because the other day, it was on me, not on him. So,
yeah,
for fucking it up. So, but like,
yeah, but again, if his response to somebody else fucking up during a match is just to walk out, I mean, why book him on a show?
Yeah,
I think it's frustration.
Worse in the long run.
Again, if you're putting a card with somebody who's much more experienced, and obviously they're going to be the one calling the match to you, their response is not going to be, if you fuck up, the response is not going to be, well, fuck this and just walk out. They're going to put you in a headlock or a rest hold of some kind. They're going to try and fucking talk to you and tell you, what you're supposed to actually be doing. Mm-hmm. If you've stiffed them, you might wind up taking, a stiff kick or a shot to the jaw. But again, at the same time, their job is to get you through the fucking match. The veteran's supposed to call the match, but the veteran generally works as the heel. They're supposed to call the fucking match. And they're supposed to, take you through your paces and make sure you don't fuck up, you don't hurt them, and vice versa. They don't fuck up and they don't hurt you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As I said, like, it's really upset me a little bit. So, a little bit because I think pride in doing this shit because I know people like going, oh, you're this old and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but I still want to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? So it's still annoying.
Yeah, it's a good way of staying fit as well.
It is, but like it's just annoying because like I thought I was getting better at this shit.
Don't worry about it. One day you'll wake up and you'll just be in the fucking flow of things without realizing it. It's it just everything takes time,
Yeah, you'll come to a point where you'll start bumping and feeding naturally. Just everything will suddenly click.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about it. Right, let me see here.
Hey, Juicy.
Oh, look at this! Activision Blizzard agrees to pay almost $55 million to settle a 2021 complaint by California Civil Rights Department. Let's have a read of this.
Oh.
A video game company, Activision Blizzard, the majority of the monetary settlement is accounted for by the establishment of roughly $47 million fund for the treatment of pay disparity and discrimination accusations related to promotions for female workers. The balance will go towards refunding the state's legal expenses. Okay. The initial complaint alleged that the company had allowed a frat boy culture to develop. Yeah, we know this, with women experiencing numerous instances of sexual harassment and abuse. The settlement pertains to amend versions of the complaint in which the state agreed to drop the aspect, narrowing the focus to pay disparity. Really? So they just kind of let the frat boy stuff go and they focus mainly on the pay disparity. Okay. Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard for $68.3 billion. I mean, that's just ridiculous. In a headline-making deal that closed in October, women who were employees or contract workers at Activision Blizzard between 2015 and 2020 are eligible for monetary relief under the terms of the settlement agreement. California remains deeply committed to promoting and enforcing the civil rights of women. Blah 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 blah. That's it. That's pretty
Just
much
taking
it.
a peek.
Yeah, no worries. So that's that. So they've actually finally finished. Because I remember the whole Bobby Kotick has been embroiled in God knows how many scandals against female employees, literally threatening them and saying you're nothing, you're scum, I can end you and kill you and all this kind of shit. So nice to see that a settlement has been reached. Let me see. Just going through.
Oh, did you see Liv Morgan got arrested?
I did.
Yeah, but fucking possession of cannabis. But the problem was she was driving under the influence, which I'm surprised they didn't arrest her for that.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they tested her for driving under the influence, but she was reportedly swerving, which is why they pulled her over.
Yeah,
and they found possession of cannabis. I think it was I can't remember the exact quantity, but they found small amount of quantity for personal use, and also a pipe with some oil in it.
Yeah,
Now WWE apparently are not. They don't. There's no heat as far as Liv Morgan's concerned. They're not planning to fire her or suspend her for it. So, so that's good, and it's not going to derail any plans for bringing her back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's injured at the moment anyway, so.
Yeah, but as reportedly, she was set to start making a comeback in the build-up to WrestleMania.
I thought she was pregnant or just had a baby and she's on maternity.
No, that's Alexa Bliss you're thinking of, I think.
Alexa Bliss and
Alexa Bliss. Yeah, sorry.
Liv Morgan's out with a shoulder injury at the minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God, they look so much alike, man. Yeah.
But again, I'm glad to hear they're not punishing her. I mean, because I remember back in the day, like 2006, when Rob Van Dam held the ECW and the WWE title, he got pulled over for driving, reportedly while high, and there's the infamous footage from the patrol officer's dash cam and the audio where he says, can you explain why your car smells like pot?
We're gonna RVD.
Because it was Van Dam and Sabu who got pulled over, and I still love the reaction from the crowd. So obviously on Raw, Van Dam had to drop the WWE title to Edge in a triple threat with John Cena. And then the next night, when they did the ECW show, he was going to drop the title to the Big Show. But the entire fucking crowd was behind Van Dam, and they were chanting, marijuana, marijuana.
I hate stuff like that. You can see the fucking writings on the wall at times when they do shit like that. Oh, we're gonna have a legitimate title change on Raw. I can't remember the last time that fucking happened. It would be nice, when Mick Foley won it back then. The Attitude Era.
When it comes to the possession of weed, by the way, I think the reason that they don't care is the fact that it is now legal in more than half of American states now. So,
decriminalize
again,
illegal and shit like that.
possession of it is legal, and the use of it is legal. Now, I don't know what happened with Liv Morgan if she was actually driving while under the influence. If that's the case, then
and possession, Florida's a fucking arse backwards fascist.
Yeah,
state
Florida's
well.
one of those states which is not. I don't think it is legal to possess it.
It's not,
but
no.
Again, if it was anything to do with driving under the influence, then look at all the guys on the roster who've driven under the influence and are still employed. The Usos, for example.
Yeah, one of the Usos does it all the fucking time.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Florida legalized weed. My God, that state would be more of a tourist destination than it already is. I mean, they're so stupid not to do it. My God. And I was able to get someone that was in Florida, by the way. I was able to score something. It wasn't that difficult. When me and Ray, we found an underground poker game in our hotel, which I couldn't believe my luck being a poker player myself.
Fucking hell, underground poker and weed, you must have been in heaven.
Yeah. And then I got speaking to the guy just to get to know them a little bit. And there was this one guy who was playing with us called English. Yeah, not England, but English. Yeah, or the England, I can't remember. No, yeah, but he's English. He happens to live in America. He's been living in America for 7 years. So after speaking to him for a bit and mentioning, talking about stuff and chin wagging and socializing, pretty much said to him, "Mate, can you get some weed?" And funny enough, Ray was playing on another table, and he scored some weed as well. Yeah. So but we're only like in Florida for like 3 or 4 days. We've got all this fucking weed. Yeah, we don't know, like shit. How are we going to smoke it all? Like we had more than we wanted because me and Ray both scored. And so yeah. That was a good laugh, man. Watching them, we watched WrestleMania 24 and all of that. And we were really pissed off because we didn't bring our weed with us to watch the rest of it. There were people fucking smoking all over the place.
That would have made it even better. Oh well.
Yeah, and so, but we also, like we can only really smoke it when we're back at our hotel because when we went out to do all these tourist destinations like Universal Studios and stuff like that, we weren't going to take our fucking weed with us. We didn't want to get fucked. And obviously in America, weed's such a big deal in the countries where it's illegal. You get thrown in jail for that shit. Now, I've been caught with weed when I was younger in the past in England, and they just take it off you and confiscate it.
They can't be asked.
Yeah, they give you the shits, and then they tell you to fuck off. You know what I mean?
Back then, most of the cops would have smoked it. Obviously, now they get drug tested, but back in the 80s and 90s, they were smoking that fucking shit, man. They were smoking that shit. They didn't care. Like my mate's sister, she became a cop, and she said to me, they're all on fucking drugs. And then it was just shortly after, then the big scandal broke out. I can't remember it exactly, but it was like, basically about coppers just being practically fucking drug dealers, some of them. And so now they were getting like mandatory drug testing after all that kind of shit. But yeah, back in the day, mate.
Yeah, I mean, and I do plan to go to the States in a couple of years. I'll be honest with you, it's looking less likely now. They remind people we're going to go to the States still, and yeah, maybe. Like, oh, fuck off. I mean, and we still got 2 years.
Just go on your own, mate. Just go on your own.
Yeah, I know, but
you don't need other people to go.
Yeah, but I've never gone on holiday on my own. Like, I mean, even when I've traveled on my own, I've always known people out there. But I want to do things like I want. Yeah, but I look. I'm going to America. I need a fucking white dude with me. You know what I mean? I need a white dude with me. It's fundamental. It helped me get through. When I went to America last time, I had Ray with me, and in a way that kind of helped it a bit because he was with me, even though they interrogated me and not him, even though we were together. So having everyone always says, if you're an ethnic minority, have a white dude. You can't go wrong. It gets you out of a lot of shit. So
I've been like fucking. I went to America on my own. I drove all over Europe on my own, which that was a great fucking holiday. I did a road trip around the UK on my own. I've done like God knows how many countries, Scandinavian countries on my own. Because what I did is I stay at a hostel. I don't stay at hotels. Okay, back when I was still, young, up until my mid-30s, I was staying in hostels because I know that the protocol is always this, and it's never failed. When you go to a hostel, you're going to meet like-minded people, and that's it. You've got your group for the rest of the holidays. And everywhere I've gone, I've stayed in hostels. I've just made loads of friends, and we've just done the whole holidays together. And so that's why I kind of just got used to traveling on my own, because it's like, people. A lot of my friends, they just want to do the fucking beach holidays, and I found those boring. I like city
Yeah,
breaks,
I've done that.
museums, and all that kind of stuff. I prefer all that kind of stuff. So I just go to hostels, meet a bunch of people, and then we just go do all the touristy stuff together and have a great fucking time. Yeah.
For the Millennium, I went to Tenerife to celebrate the Millennium beach holiday. I didn't know everyone, but everyone knew. There was 8 of us, and somebody knew somebody within our circle, and that's how it was. And honestly, I fucking hated it. I honestly hated it. I've never been surrounded by so many fucking Northerners in my life. No offense, Gary. and yeah, but
Gary, you're
and
gonna take
look, there were Scousers. They weren't like people from like Mancunians like yourself.
Mate, it's the fucking millennium.
Look, the thing is for me,
if you're from Liverpool, we do apologize for that accent.
Look, when I go abroad, I want to leave the country. I'm departing from. I don't want to end up in the same fucking country with fucking palm trees, because everyone there was a fucking Brit. I didn't feel like I was in Spain. I felt I was in like fucking.
You went to Tenerife. What did you fucking expect? It's like me going to Magaluf and expecting Spanish people to party with.
The only people, it's crazy that the only Spanish people there were the fucking taxi drivers, and they could speak hardly a word of fucking English, which is crazy. But they knew enough I knew enough to get by. But honestly, everything about it, I fucking hated it. Everyone felt dodgy. The reps felt bad. I couldn't trust anybody, even the people within our circle. Some of them were cunts. I couldn't fucking stand it, and I couldn't wait to get back home. I fucking hated it. On these sort of Magaluf, fucking Tenerife, fucking Ibiza type shit. I'll never fucking do that bollocks again. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, never again.
No, I don't mind partying. I love partying, but it just depends where you go. Like I can't do. Like all my friends were like, "Yeah, let's do Malia and all this," and I was just like, I don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds to go and do Malia when I can literally do Malia in fucking South London or up north. It's like, I want to party with the locals, not with fucking other English people.
Hey, Ginger.
Yeah.
Here's an idea for New Year. I know your lips can be a little bit dodgy, but me and you go to Newcastle and party up the town.
Can't do it, mate. I literally ain't got the legs. I can barely get up the stairs at the moment. My knees are so bad. Otherwise, I'd be fucking well up for it.
Fun enough, when you mentioned New Year, that's the one day. I mean, I will be working New Year's Eve, but I won't be working at that particular time of New Year's Eve where everyone's fucking pissed out their faces and they want to lift home. Fuck that, because you know what?
You're the one that's just giving them a lift to the parties and then fucking off home afterwards.
Yeah. And when I give them a lift to the party, it'll be basically like just on the edge of Zone 1, because they're going to obviously close off most of central London.
Yeah,
and I'll have to explain to these dumb fucks who probably should know by now, what I mean, that you can't get into central London on New Year's Eve by car. It's impossible. I've had to explain to these motherfuckers so many times. It's so fucking stupid. How have they not known by now? But regardless, it's just too dangerous for someone in my profession to take people home on New Year's. You just don't know what dodgy character you're going to get, because people are willing to spend the extra money by getting it out of Salih, even if it means going home. And then you're going to get some fucking dickhead roadmen who are going to probably try and mug me for my fucking cash. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm not going to take the chance and get unlucky.
Don't go to South London, mate.
I do. I mean, I've been many times across the river, but the point is, it's just not worth it. And when you are sometimes when you are doing like jobs where you have to go across the river, you have to go to like fucking Vauxhall Bridge or London Bridge, because they're the only bridges open, outside of the blockage. Either side, west, east, or west of the fucking closure. It's just a head fuck, man. I just
fair enough. I really wanted to go to Club 1830 holidays. They always look fun. Look, my friends went to them, and they got their end away. But at the end of the day, they said the same thing. Like, if you want, it's just like partying up fucking north, and you're just at a beach with a bunch of chavs.
While you're on the beach with me.
But if it's your sort of thing, which it might be yours, Rick B, because you're from northwest London, you can still do it. You could just do the 30 to 55 ones instead, because that's the same group. All the 1830 lot now are like, in mid 40s to early 50s now. So
I don't think I've ever
yeah.
actually been to one of those sort of things.
No, I don't like those kind of things. Like I don't mind. I love my partying when I'm on holiday, but I go to places where the locals go. I don't go to like all the except for
Yeah,
Thailand.
likewise.
Thailand was like different because the good thing with Thailand is like that was a really nice hub where like the majority of friends I made there were Israeli and Irish. And the irony as well is that I'll go all the way to Thailand and end up pulling an Irish bird, which was funny because it's like, normally people go there, grab some local Thai bird, give it a couple of quid, take it back to the hotel, bang their brains out and all this kind of shit. And I go the way out there and fucking meet somebody from bloody Dublin. So I was just like, this worked out great. And it was free. I also had a lady boy come up to me on a bike and go, hey, you want to fuck me in the ass? No, I'm okay. I've just eaten.
Yeah, well, I would have fucking said yes.
Well,
I know you would have said yes. Yeah, you would have. You would have fucked every lady boy out there, mate.
Hell
they'd
yeah,
all
man! I would.
around looting.
Please don't say stuff like that when I'm in the middle of
that
drinking.
guy again. Yeah.
I need to go to Thailand right now. Yeah, I mean, but then again, like like as somebody who likes to bang, people who have done the oldest profession, I have to say it's not always that great because I've been to Holland a couple of times, and you look at some of these girls who are standing by the doors, in the red light district, offering their services, and you think, great, look at her, she looks amazing. I need to destroy that right now. I want it. Yeah, and then you go in that room and stuff like that, and then it's so tiny the room you're in and everything, and when every time I've gone to Holland, it's been like March, February, so it's still pretty cold. It's a bit breezy. And, the door that when it closes, there's a little gap in it, so there's a breeze coming through, freezing your ass off. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna try and bang this bird who physically also feels really cold. Her body feels cold. Like, what the fuck? Why aren't you warm? And it is the most coldest, horrible fucking the coldest, most horrible sex of no matter how good they look, if they're not up for it, it's just awful. You know what I mean? If they're just saying, if their mindset says, look, I'm pretty, I got big tits, do me, yeah, and they're not and they're not like offering the same sort of response that you want to give, that you're giving to them, it's just awful, fucking awful. And so
I couldn't comment. The only thing I could tell you about my time in Amsterdam is we got there on a Thursday evening. Friday we smoked. I think we got up early, got to the fucking cafe, started smoking. I've got a photo. There's a whole table full of different shit, and we smoked a lot of it. Then I hallucinated I was my dad. And then I put my head down, opened my eyes, and it was Sunday. So from smoking weed on a Friday, I opened my eyes, it was Sunday. However, I thought I slept like 48 hours or whatever. But no, the story goes, so remember Hangover the movie. Just think about that. So the story goes, I woke up on the Saturday morning, sat on the table, carried on smoking. I did fucking, the cakes as well, the brownies, the hash brownies, and all this kind of shit. We went out, we partied. I did a whole bunch of stuff. There's a picture of me with my trousers around my ankles, standing by the canal. There's a picture of me with the police officers. Apparently, I tried to get a discount from a prostitute as well, and she was having none of it. And I don't remember any of this fucking shit, any of it. But I was just like, hey, listen, if I did all of that and I don't remember it, it was a fucking good time. So yeah, when I watched The Hangover, I was just like, I did that 20 years ago. Whatever, bro.
Actually, I've had two blank out periods in my life where there is a space of time where I'll never fucking remember, but everyone else tells me about it and I don't remember any of it. Like one time I used to work at Madame Two Swords and we had our Christmas party there. And there was so much alcohol around, and me being the dickhead that I was, I grabbed a bottle of red wine, grabbed a bottle of white wine on the dance floor, gulp, 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 gulp.
You shagging in the models, the wax works.
I didn't do that. I was seeing somebody. I don't want to bring up their name. I was seeing somebody at the time, and we did shag under these corpses, which was like a dungeon area and stuff like that. And I shagged her on that particular table, and that kind of like cemented our relationship, so to speak. But prior to after all of that, because she had to go because she had work the next day, because not everyone was off the following day, but I stayed and I got really fucking drunk. And next thing you know, from me being on the dance floor, I don't know what the fuck happened, but there I am sitting in the fucking disabled toilet, and I've got puke all over my fucking shirt.
Yeah.
And I think,
sounds like my cousin in Hong Kong.
And I'm thinking to myself, what happened? What happened between me on the dance floor and me being in this toilet? Yeah, and then I remember like people going home now and shit. I'm trying to give a few people a hug. This one girl fucking screamed and ran away because she didn't want to fucking hug me, but I'm covered in my own fucking puke and shit. You know, and I just don't remember. I don't remember what the fuck happened, but I got a mate of mine called Sean who I'm still friends with on Facebook and stuff like that, and he's changed his fucking life around big time. But he was a crazy fuck like me, but now he's a sensible father and all of that. But regardless, he was telling me all the crazy shit I did, and I can't believe it because I don't remember any of it, and it's just so fucking weird.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the heart to tell you that.
So go on.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the heart to tell you that you violated the waxwork of Margaret Thatcher.
Well, the funny enough, there's a waxwork of Adolf Hitler, and that's encased in a glass box because people they spit on it and stuff like that, so they have to.
It's not spit. It's TV news presenter cum. That's all over it.
Well, didn't they have the issue with like the statue, an actual statue of Margaret Thatcher, where somebody whacked its head off with a cricket bat?
Yeah. It was in one of the. It was in a. I don't know if it was in a museum or something. They kept whacking the head off. I think twice it got vandalized.
Rigby's got comment here. Like when I go down, I visit all the cities, put up porn to the malls.
Yeah, but I don't believe a fucking word that Rigby says anyway, so who cares?
But I went to one of these live sex shows things, and I was watching it with my mate, and this guy, he must have done this performance so many times because at this particular stage, he's really finding it hard to fucking get it up, and he's fucking jacking himself off so much. Yeah,
maybe Rigby was there.
and he's just so he can bang this bird he's performing with and stuff like that, and then they do several hip thrusts or whatever, and they're dancing and fucking towards all this music, and then they wave to the audience and they fuck off. Like, what the fuck?
It's gonna come. It's just a puff of smoke because he's done it so many times.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy, man. Like, oh, and I remember in the morning. Sorry,
yeah. No, on the Friday. So on the Friday, because I know we did a bunch of all this stuff on the Saturday, but I don't fucking remember. I know we did one sex show on a Saturday, and I was bored out of my head because I was turning to my friend, and I was just like, "Why am I watching other people having sex? I want to have the fucking sex, not them." So I just left and I went and had fucking waffles. I was just like, "Oh yeah, this is more like it." Just,
this is the sex I'm talking about.
Getting sexiness out of food.
Well, I also remember going down this particular high street, and it's like 10 in the fucking morning. So it was early. Our first day there, we got there early, and we left 4 or 5 in the morning, and we get there, put our bags away, walking around, just seeing town, and it's like 10 in the morning, and these girls are wearing just bikinis, and they're serving alcohol to these guys, in these pubs, and I've never seen anything like that. At that time of the day, if it was nighttime, I wouldn't give it a second glance. But 10 in the fucking morning, I thought, what the fuck's going on? This is absolutely crazy. Nothing against it, but it was just bizarre for me. It was just, I worked on the bit. I met the kids.
Was this before or after you became a landlord? I mean, Rigby.
By the way,
Rigby has got the most incoherent storytelling since Jeffrey Archer.
Well, he is 52. I had a boyfriend who show. The couple did it on stage, and it kind of ruined the atmosphere. When halfway through, the man lifted his arm, checked the time on his watch.
Awesome.
They're boring, mate. I don't. I just yeah. I don't. I don't like seeing other people have sex that close to me. It's like if I'm not involved, then a waste of money.
Well, the thing is, like Zam and Shredder, get their underway regularly. I don't think I do that regularly. I try, but But I was like Zam, I don't tend to pay for my balances.
I have to look. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. At this moment in time, in my current situation, like relationships just don't seem to be what I need in my life at this moment in time. What I need is just to get the issue, but there's only so much your hand can offer you until you really want to grab some ass, you know what I mean, and fucking suck on some titties,
Look,
and
Sam,
so
the situation. Look, the solution is simple. Ask Rick B what version of vacuum cleaner he uses and get some googly eyes.
That's the googly eyes.
Henry, it's a Henry, yeah.
Yeah.
Henry Hoover, yeah.
And you've not lived until you've seen it. I'm just happy that I've been to Amsterdam. I've done it twice now, so I'm very happy to have got that out of my system, so to speak. But everyone talks about it. I do think that some of the gear out there was a bit overrated. I thought to myself, what, I can get this. I can smoke the same shit in the United Kingdom. I'm kind of surprised. I thought I'd be smoking the most mind-blowing shit. That wasn't the case. I had mushrooms out
over here. Is a lot more. It's a lot.
I'm going to Amsterdam in March. Group trip. I'd rather go on holiday with Adolf Hitler.
What it is, I think, Ginge, is that if I go there, I would like to know somebody there who can show me around. I remember the second time I went, we didn't go directly to Amsterdam. It was cheaper to fly to Eindhoven, and then we took a train from Eindhoven all the way to Amsterdam. And it was really cool because the train goes right past PSV's stadium, and it's absolutely fucking massive, and it's a beautiful piece of architecture. And when you take
Eindhoven to Amsterdam,
1 hour.
Oh, it's nothing. It's worth doing.
Nothing, And then we stopped straight into the middle of the Centrum, and it's like being in some sort of fairy tale like Brothers Grimm type fairy tale land. That's the only way I can describe it. Like the moment you pull in there, it's absolutely awesome. And then just looking around and found a hostel and all of that. Yeah, it was a good laugh.
Amsterdam now I wouldn't go. It doesn't have the same appeal as when you're like young in your 20s and all that.
Well, you can go to Portugal. It's decriminal. It's legal in Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah, you could do. Portugal's even better because you can just do at the beach and you fucking stone and go for a swim.
Well,
when I at my second home at uni, we had, again, I told this story before, we had a swimming pool because the guy that used to own the property was a Greek Olympic swimmer, and he sold it to my landlady who lived just up the road from me. And we had a fucking swimming pool there. And I tell you what, we used to get really high and just go for a swim. And you just sit and you feel like you're just fucking floating in space when you're high and swimming. So I recommend it. The sensory overload is awesome on it.
Sounds a little bit dangerous to me.
No. It's not dangerous at all because you're fully functioning. Like if you're high, it's not like my coordination is crap or anything. But it's lovely.
I can't really do drugs because of stuff. Well, I'll just be honest. I've got dyspraxia.
Yeah, but you drink alcohol. I mean, that's a drug.
Yeah, but I can't. I can't do like THC or anything like that because because I've got dyspraxia and it sends my depression and anxiety and paranoia to fucking overload.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, if it affects you,
fair enough.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that I guess anyone else do it, by the way. If you want to do it, do it to your heart's intent. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, now, like, certain parts of America have got it decriminalized and legal and stuff like that. I might dabble if I ever go back to the States, like I said, which is one thing I want to do. I know it's legal in California. Yeah, I mean, it might be worth a toke when I go there.
New Jersey, I know, voted to legalize it, but I don't think they've yet finally decriminalized it completely.
That's right. Who the fuck wants to go to New Jersey anyway? Like for a tourist. Well, I know you do because your missus lives there, but you got a reason.
Yeah, but like I said, I know a number of states have decriminalized it, but they've not yet finalized the laws with regard to what level of possession is actually acceptable. The laws require around driving after usage, etc. because again, I think the jury's still out about how long you should be waiting after you smoked a joint, before you actually drive a car again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, regarding weed, I mean, that part of my life is definitely behind me. That I do miss it. It's something that I wish I could dabble in now and again, but we also live in a world where you get checks and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna have to get a health check done very
Oh
shortly.
yeah,
So I have to renew my.
and here's the thing as well, which I completely disagree with. It should be there should be a complete abolition to mandatory drug testing when it comes to marijuana. Employers should not be allowed to sack you over that anymore, but they still are.
Even in the states where it's legal.
Yeah, even in the states where it's legal, companies have got their own policies that say we will drug test you. And it's they say that obviously there's companies who will say, oh, if you come into work and you test positive for alcohol, after you've used it, it will be an automatic failure, despite the fact that alcohol is completely legal. Now, again, when it comes to weed, that can stay in your system, for days and even weeks after you've actually had it. So the fact that, again, you can still test positive for it, despite the fact that it's legal. And if you've gone to a state where it is legal and you've used, and you go back to your own state and test positive, that counts as a failure.
Yeah, I went for a job interview in this country, and I was told that even though, I can't say it without saying that we would have to occasionally be tested for alcohol and drugs, even though we're not driving certain things. Sorry, I was about to say wait, what's that? But like because they wanted to make sure that it was across the spectrum of all their employees, basically. I'm not saying who the company is, but they may be in network and they may be in rail. Let's say there. And yeah. So yeah, so you have to do you have a drug policy there?
He just takes a swig of beer and says that.
Well, the last time I actually got drunk, hardcore drunk, was about 5 years ago, and I because in my profession, because I drive for a living, it's very hard for, and I almost work every day, so it's really hard for me to drink alcohol, even on occasions, because I won't be able to work the following day. But on one particular occasion, a guy who lives 2 houses away from me was having his stag night. I've known this guy since he was born, and the stars kind of aligned for me. I was able to go home. I had the following day off, got changed, walked 2 houses along, and I started fucking drinking everything under the sun. He had fucking whiskey, he had fucking brandy, he had vodka, gin, everything you could think of. Is it spritzers or fucking, I forgot what it's called. But all of these various types of alcohol. And I had a really good time. I got to meet a lot of different people, chatted so much fucking shit. And then I was able to, to waddle my way back home, about 2, 3 in the morning.
Waddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go to bed, not worrying about having to drive or anything. And the following day was off. But when I woke up the next day, my head was throbbing from a hangover. My bladder was absolutely bursting, but I didn't want to go to the toilet, but I was too fucking tired. And at the same time, I was absolutely dehydrated as well, because all the fucking liquid was trying to get out my fucking dick. So and it made me,
You're so poetic.
but even though I had a really good time, because of the following day, it made me realize that it was really good to do this again, because it's been years since I last had a party and got drunk. But it also made me realize I don't miss this life. I'm done with this life. You know what I mean? I'm happy to have another shot at having a party and getting drunk and wasted, and all this free alcohol was really great, and meeting and mingling with people and all of that and fucking around. But the repercussions of it made me realize, you know what? If I don't ever do this again, I'm good. And so, yeah,
I think you get to a point in your life where if it's not part of your everyday thing, you don't give a shit about it. You don't miss it. You have the odd time. And I can't remember the last time I had a hangover, and I've been like fucking blackout drunk, but I think the last time I had a hangover was at uni, and that was because of really fucking cheap beer. Like, when you drink cheap beer, and you just wake up the next day feeling rough as shit. And but after that, like when you're drinking proper booze, I'd never get hangovers. So I was just like, the only thing that happened with me when I get drunk is I just become really boring. I just fucking sit there like staring and like chewing the back of my throat kind of thing and doing nothing. So I was just like, I'd rather just drive to destinations and party my ass off and then drive back because I save a fortune on cabs and buses and trains. And I ended up as designated driver. People paid for my soft drinks, and a good time was had all around. And then that's why I ended up ditching alcohol. 'Cause it's just like, yeah, I'll just sit there like a dollar, and it's not me.
I've been designated driver many times, but on the other occasion, it was nice to. On this occasion, I didn't have to be, because the guy lived 2 houses away from me, so it was
Yeah, you're just designated walker. Get back to your house.
It was awesome. Like I said, it really was. I had such a good time. I just wish the repercussions of the good time I had didn't have. But when you're that age, I remember being when I was young, I could like party all fucking night. I could burn the candles at both ends and everything, But nowadays, it's impossible. You need a day to recover from the fucking party.
Yeah. If it's not your head
Yeah.
pounding, it's your body aching.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All the time. But yeah,
just the repercussions of getting old, which is why now that I've become not only old but a fat cunt too, because driving a cab definitely makes me put on weight. Quitting smoking has made me put in even more weight. I didn't realize how much additional weight I put on hence the fucking
because you're using that food to feed in for it's your crutch to feed in for your habit that you use.
Yeah, but when I was also a stoner too, Gary, and I would fucking eat all the time, man. Get the munchies, you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is that I don't feel like I'm eating as much, but at the same time, I felt like the weight was being put on. I don't know if weed was some sort of laxative that would make you shit it out very quickly, and it doesn't stay in your
weed helps metabolism burn quicker as well. That's why you get a lot of fat weed smokers. It's good for the metabolism, but also you got to understand once you hit a certain point in your 40s, that's it. Like now, I look at sweets and I fucking balloon in weight. Like you hit a point in your 40s where you got to be really fucking careful, unfortunately, with what you eat because it just goes straight to your ass and your hips. And my weight is skyrocketed because I can't exercise anymore because of my legs. I try what I can, and so coming to realization that I really, really have to get myself down to just eating 1,000 calories a day, which I've done in the past, and it's actually good for you because my metabolism is so shit that I'm just putting on weight, having a normal diet. And so, yeah, as a weed smoker, your metabolism was helping you burn a lot of that stuff, which is why you get the munchies because that's why you get the munchies.
But I told you like why I quit because it was during COVID when I quit, and just one day I just started feeling so much pain right in my chest, and I thought, shit, I'm going to die. And there's times when I'm fucking doing streams with you motherfuckers and shit, and I'm within myself, I want to cry my fucking ass off. When I'm in bed, I'm crying, thinking to myself, I might die any minute now and shit like that, yeah. And I couldn't lie down on my back because it hurt too much. I had to lie down on my side, and I thought to myself, this is it. I have to quit smoking. I got to quit weed. I remember two of my dealers calling me up, going to me, "Yeah, bro, if you want some stuff?" I go, "Listen, mate, I almost, I've reached that stage in my life now where I can't do it anymore. That it was killing me. I'm getting chest pains, and I hope you understand it." And they go, "Yeah, fair enough." And so,
did one of your weed dealers be like, "You can't quit. I've got a mortgage."
No, none of that. Thank God, but but it's funny. But one of these guys I was friends with to a degree as well. But because since I quit smoking, like that was it. Like our friendship quit as well to it, because of that. But I realized I had to stop smoking, and I'll tell you what, it was actually a lot easier to quit when you realize you're gonna die, because there's no better motivation to quit smoking than the fear of death. You know, and the fear of death was the best motivation I could have had.
I'll do it for you.
You know, and it was a lot easier. And I have had the odd puff here and there since I have quit, like but not recently, not for over a year have anything gone but down. But 6 months after I quit smoking, I was playing a poker game and some of my mates had some weed and I had a puff and shit like that. And I think the last time I smoked was like the Queen's Jubilee and stuff like that.
Rick.
And I do miss that life, but at the same time, I'm so happy in the way that I was able to put it behind me. I just wish I put it behind me 10, 15 years ago when I was a lot younger, and but
you would have had a lot more money as well. Had you
done these motherfucking birds and shit like that, the computer, the treadmill, I mean, the paintings, all of the shit, like my new bed sheets. I got these black ones and I got these navy blue ones and shit like that. I'm able to buy all this stuff. These chupa fucking lollipops over there on the table behind me. This fucking fancy microphone and shit like that. This mobile phone I bought for a couple of £100. All of that money I would have had, to buy this shit would have been going on weed. It's not anymore. You know what I mean? I'm able to buy stuff. This hat, these Deadpool fucking tracksuit bottoms I'm wearing and shit like that. These slippers, everything.
Yeah, we get it. You're a fucking nerd. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, in the year, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get myself in relatively decent shape to do the wrestling because I find myself getting gassed a lot. So.
I want to see six pack by the end of the next year, guys.
I'm going to sit pack, but I'll be more better shit than I'm fucking.
I meant six pack of beer. I didn't mean like abdominal six pack.
Again, we all want to shot your debut match, Gary, just so we can shout gravy every time you hit somebody.
Come lug, come lug, come.
No, like you go to the top fucking rope and does the gravy splash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The gravy ones.
And your promo ends with now
jump, you bastard, jump, fucking
your promo ends with now taken out. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Also, like
mad for it. Mad. He's going for the mad for it. Oh my god!
I mean, it would be nice if every other person I would wrestle isn't monkey.
Everyone would be at your show and it'd just be Mancunians. They're like, look at these fucking Cockney twats coming in. Like, all right, mate. Like, listen, blood. Yeah, nobody talks in a fucking Cockney accent. You get me? You got to talk like that.
Fucking hell,
that's what cracks me up. Like people, like every time that you go up north and they're like, "Oh, look, it's a fucking Cockney." I'm like, fam, nobody talks like that anymore down London, man. That's Essex. London is all like roadman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they get confused. They don't understand. They don't know it yet. They don't understand that. They're like, "Oh, you mean like the in it lot? The ones that say in it all the time?" Like, yeah, there you go. That's us. Yeah. It's,
no one wants to know if you're stoned and naked. I mean, the fact that I know that. All right, fair enough.
I mean, he's always stoned and naked. He's probably got his dick in a vacuum cleaner with googly eyes. Isn't that right, Shredder?
Don't worry, Rick B. I'll send the boys round right now.
We'll vacuum you up.
Oh,
again, Rick B is being incredibly selfish by not telling Zam the best brand of vacuum cleaner to get his rocks off with.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I went for the lie detector test on whether I had taken drugs. I hadn't then, but I knew people who had, and because I knew people who had used marijuana, it came back as a false positive.
Oh yeah, I mean, lie detectors are such bullshit.
They're bullshit lie detectors. Here you go, Zam. Here's a question for you.
I was spending about 100, maybe 80 to 100 pounds a week.
I spent about £80 and it lasted me about 6 weeks. You know, Zam was
you must have fucking mixed it with so much fucking backy. You know what I mean? It was called fucking Marlboro fucking weed or some shit like that.
Marlboro Green.
Yeah, Marlboro Green. Because I don't know, unless you got a good contact. Like, I mean, unfortunately for me, like I really felt like I had anybody who would offer me a good score. I think I would take advantage of. But again, we're talking black market. like
I
market purchases, you know.
Listen,
imagine-
your dealer probably lived in my cousin's council estate.
Look, I imagine Rick B probably buys like this big cartoonish like bag of green that you would see in like some really bad movie, and it turns out he's buying like 80 quid worth of dried basil.
Well, I'll tell you this: with a lot of my dealers, they weren't actually dealers; they were middlemen. You know what I mean? Who were looking to get a score for themselves by getting a score out of me. You know, and
Yeah,
that
they
was the
probably
important thing.
cut your weed with other stuff like oregano and all that kind of stuff.
No, well, just the fact that
Or
you
they
know,
give you
like,
the seeds, and you're like, "What the fuck am I going to do with
or,
seeds?" You dirty
or I
cunt.
mean, they might have a dealer who gives them a good weight, and then they'll just give me 3/4 of it and keep a bit for themselves or whatever, you know, or maybe even half for themselves. But the people they get greedy, these motherfuckers, you know.
Yeah.
I'm buying this. I'm buying this shit, and like, I'm trying to make it last me a week, and then you know, like when you're down to the last couple of days, you really have to stretch that weed out because you know you don't want to like buy every 5 or 6 days because sometimes I end up doing that as well because I had no choice. And I just remember like things like just finishing work early or whatever, just so I could buy weed. You know, I don't do that anymore, man. I'm just focusing, you know, just even smoking regular, like smoking roll-ups and cigarettes. I'm not even doing that anymore. I'm not taking cigarette breaks and shit like that and revolving my life around it. It's just so liberating not smoking anymore. It really is. I'm fucking glad that shit's over. I'm really fucking happy. I don't stink of fags. That's great. I love it. I don't have to worry about smelling of cigarettes when I'm in meeting people and shit like that. It's just, it's so liberating, man.
Well, I mean, something that I've been doing recently, and I suppose it's best time to out myself here. I've been doing some elocution lessons because if I have to hear people go "what" every time I have to speak anymore, I'm going to scream. So I've been taking like elocution lessons. Like,
It'll be handy for you for wrestling too, for doing promos.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the main reason I'm doing it. To be honest.
Yeah, good.
Like I've been doing them for like like over a month, maybe nearly 2. So yeah, it's been helpful. Yeah. Hopefully you guys have noticed that I've been trying to bring him here. So his main thing for me was that I tend to speed through what I want to say. So his advice to me was, at start of speeches, do a 3-second pause, think through what I'm going to say, then say it.
Yeah, well, I haven't noticed anything at the moment, but I'm sure we will as time goes by. But then I don't notice a lot of much of anything these days. My brain is just like, you know, in its own little world. Oh, great! I've just drawn blank. But never mind. Yeah, I got high yesterday, but that was the first time in like a decade. Again, if it's there,
that was also when you drowned the stream. To be honest with you, you were. I mean, I could tell by looking at you, were totally blanked. Did you white out, or was it just like a natural high?
No, it's just a natural high. It was just like, I was just like
cannabis.
high and
you can white out cannabis.
Whatever it was, weed. Yeah. And because my friend, like, I had people around yesterday, and my friend, she smokes it all the time. So she was like, "Do you want me to bring some?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!" And again, like I said yesterday, the only reason I wanted to do it is because my knees are killing me. They're fucking killing me, and I don't want to take painkillers all the time because that stuff rots your liver, and you get too used to it, so you have to up your dosage. So I was like, "Yeah, bring some weed." So I did a bit of weed, and it worked wonders. On my knees, but again, it's not something I'm going to regularly take up. I'm just like, if it's on offer. She left me some, so I've ordered a pipe from Amazon because I can't find my old pipe, given I haven't fucking smoked regularly for God knows how many decades. So I'm not going to find that fucking pipe again. So I'll just finish what she gave me tomorrow, and that'll be my Sunday.
I got something to continue from this, but one of my properties for turning into a weed farm about 10 years ago, the police cleared all the plants, but there was so much weed just laying on the floor. I bagged it up and filled a bin bag. You lucky get. Well, I was.
Yeah, I mean,
I was at.
Zam, have you read The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Well, I'm reading it every time I post something, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I'm always joking with you. I'm always joking with you. But I
Okay,
get
look,
this.
I back to being going back to poker. There was this one home game I played and at this guy's house for the first time, and he actually had loads of fucking weed. He had like this sort of big sort of jar that you maybe put a fucking plant inside it, but it's just fucking full of fucking weed. And he was also he actually got absolutely plastered playing poker. He drank a lot of fucking wine and got really, really drunk. And he actually passed out. And so we thought, okay, fuck it, we should just leave. But I didn't leave without taking a big fucking handful of that fucking weed in that jar. And then
Hey,
and then he was there to share for everyone anyway.
I would, Rick,
But
if I had the legs.
but a couple of weeks later, he hosted another home game. So I told my mate, I'm gonna fucking buy a bottle of wine for this motherfucker so he gets drunk and I can do this again. And this time he didn't get
wine.
drunk.
You get like 100 quid's worth of weed. You know what I mean, or more than 100 quid.
I bought him a bottle of wine, and the first thing he said to me jokingly was, "What, are you trying to get me drunk?" And I'm thinking, yeah. So I can get some more, take some more fucking weed. I mean, he was offering the weed for people to share, so I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna take a share, and but I couldn't believe how much fucking weed there was there. But yeah, nevertheless, I had a good time. But that was the second time and the last time I played poker at his place. So yeah. So group trip to Amsterdam, been there, done it, worn the t-shirt, dude. Yeah, it's full of fucking people like fucking a quarter of my age, let alone half. You know what I mean? So
yeah, the wide-eyed youngsters, just like we were, was like, oh, I can do all this stuff, man. Like,
yeah,
then you go back to uni and you argue, why isn't weed legal and all this kind of shit. And to be fair, we used to smoke it in the student union. Like the security guard. I mean, can you be any more of a stereotype? I was really good friends with the security guards at my university because I used to just sit there and talk to them rather than talk with the students and all this kind of shit because they just had more interesting stories. And they couldn't give a fuck if you were smoking weed in there. They just nobody gave a shit. Like that university was just so fucking like laid back with everything. But the guy, Dave, his name was. Just think of your great big fucking 6'2" type gammon lookalike. He wasn't a gammon though, but I'm just saying. He ended up being. He was a fucking dealer. He got busted for being a dealer, and he was a dealer to a lot of the students at university as well. He was a right dodgy fucker. When I worked in an off license once, he came in and just like, look, I'll give you 500 quid, yeah, if you just help me like do some like fraud shit with a check and I'll buy a load of stuff and all that. I was like, all right, I don't care. I'm working in Unwins. Who gives a shit? So yeah, he was a great character. He was one who I walked up to him once. I was just like, oh man, the fucking Destiny's Child tickets are on sale, but like, fuck paying 150 quid for them. So nah, don't worry about it. Listen, you go to here at Wembley Stadium, you go to the back where the security go in, you ask for Mario and you tell him Dave sent you, they'll give you a jacket. You wear the jacket, pretend to be security, and you go sit by the stage and watch the whole concert. And so I got to see Beyonce, got to see UB40, got to see Eminem. Fucking awesome, man. Like the guy was a shit. Absolutely loved it. And then a couple of years later, I go to a Faithless concert with my brother down at the Brixton Academy, and his wife Jackie, who also works security, was working there. And she was just like, "Yeah, give me your jackets. I'll fucking put them in for you." And when you come back,
green jackets, weren't they?
Huh? No,
yeah,
it was a dark green when it had AP security on the back and all this kind of
I've
shit.
done security. I've done security.
Get you backstage to meet the band. I was like, not really
in the
interested
green room.
in the band. Just wanted a party. So she took our coats for us, so we didn't have to queue up to give the coats.
Well,
because but loved it, man. It's always great when you know people that can get you into places and skip queues.
I did security at Brixton Academy in places like Wembley Stadium, Wembley Arena. I worked for an agency that wanted to, throughout stewards. We weren't necessarily we were like in between stewards and security. That's the sort of designation we were. Yeah, I mean, we weren't like proper security because we were just regular people, but there were numbers of us. But I remember like working backstage at the Motorhead concert, and I met Lemmy from Motorhead,
Oh,
and
lovely.
I was really shocked how short he is, because he comes across as like a 6
Oh,
foot guy,
really?
but he's about as tall as I am. You know what I mean? But nice guy though, because really nice guy, because he I was just standing outside the room. He saw me, said hello, shook my hand, and just started just being very pleasant with all the people in you know, you hear all these stories about these like rock stars like fucking smashing up the place, doing lines of fucking coke on fucking hookers' asses and shit like that. None of that happened. None of that fucking happened. They'll just
was it A&P Security that you worked with? When was this?
This was back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
It would have been them. So you would have had maybe a dark green jacket.
I had a green jacket. Green jacket.
Yeah, that was A&P Security. That was the same people. You might have probably seen Mario. They called him Mario. His name wasn't actually Mario, but because he looked like Mario.
There might have been a Mario. There's a few
Mario
guys
brothers.
there,
there was like two really tall black guys. I forget their name. I think one of them was called Davis.
David Davis.
We used to make a joke about it.
Also worked there, like Dr. Dre and Eminem worked there, did a concert there, and the amount of fucking locals.
I was at that. I was at that.
Yeah, well, they fucking rammed in there. They like stormed in there, like 30, 40 local lads. You just rammed, and then after that, what happened was Dre and Eminem.
Eminem, not Dr. Dre wasn't there when I went.
But Dre and Eminem's personal bodyguards, or their personal bodyguards, actually worked front of house with us to stop more people from barging in. But at the end of the day, I think it was about the money. So the fact that these people were seeing them for free, so they were having.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, what's this Shredder's alive? John has to say. I mean, Diane has read his comments.
Yeah.
A 1948 Bentley that I used to own wound up stolen and shipped off to Iraq. It became the personal vehicle of Saddam Hussein. When they returned, there was a precious artwork hidden under the spare tire. I sold the artwork and invested it in a stock portfolio. It's currently worth 11 billion yen. It funded my underground sex cult with Milo Kunis and Sienna Miller. I love her, by the way.
Gorgeous.
I got bored of non-stop tantric sex with gorgeous models and established a division of Blackwater mercenaries. We secretly took out Osama bin Laden.
Oh, so we have ultimate fucking landlord now.
I mean, my story there is as credible as Rick B's.
See you, Cara. Take care.
So, Cara.
Well, thank you for coming on. Good to see you again, Cara. Hope to see you again soon.
Okay. The thing is that Shredder's probably the most unsingle of the four of us here because he's engaged to a lovely lady. So, the rest of us are single as hell. I mean, So
I want to fucking invite to your wedding, by the way, when that happens.
I have no interest in relationships whatsoever.
I've worn a kilt, by the way, just so you know, Shred. I've done it once.
I've done loads of times, man. I did it for Fancy Dress a couple of times, and then I wore it for a long time. We did a stag do in Edinburgh. I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to wear a fucking kilt. None of the locals wear a kilt, but I was like, I'll wear a fucking kilt anyway. And it went down about as well as you can expect when you start talking in a fucking London accent.
A childhood friend of mine who she was a few years older than me, but I've known her since we were kids, and she was like a big sister to me. She ended up marrying this Scottish guy, and when they were, many years later, and their wedding was really great because all several of the Asian lot had to come in kilts and Scottish attire, and the Scottish people were coming in Indian attire, and it was so fucking awesome. Not everyone did. There was loads of Asian people who weren't going to fucking wear a kilt to save their fucking life, but many of us made the effort.
Wouldn't they?
Sorry.
They'd wear a sari, wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they wear a kilt?
Yeah. Well, to get around it, but I had to spend some money to hire a kilt outfit, and all of that shit. It wasn't cheap, and I was only hiring it. I wasn't even fucking keeping it. I had to get those fucking socks and that fucking little fucking fanny pack you had to put the front. You know what I mean? All that sort of shit. That bum bag and that weird fucking jacket which kind of like goes up to your waist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
only Schwarzenegger's only 6'1". I know it's like only, but he's not that tall. It's not like
Yeah,
a Hulk
but
beast.
it was like I said, it was a really cool event. Seeing all these Scots fucking wearing Asian attire and saris and stuff like that. It was not all of them did. Once again, a lot of them just wear regular European clothing and stuff like that. But still, some of us did, and I was one of them, and I had a fucking great time. And I love wearing a fucking kilt. It's so liberating. I'll fucking wear a kilt again. I want to wear one at your fucking
Yeah,
wedding,
man,
Fred.
kilts are fucking awesome,
Yeah.
man. It's like when you go for a piss, all you got to do, lift it up, piss away, fucking great. People with the piss stain.
I just watching Vic and Shredder just argue in the comment section. It's just hilarious.
I was surprised at how short Hulk Hogan was. I wrestled him in the main event at Wembley Stadium. God.
Was that SummerSlam '92?
Yeah. Well, no. We worked the main event of the show that WWE did the previous year. It wasn't as heavily advertised, but it was still a maximum capacity crowd.
Oh right, okay. Oh damn, I must have missed that one.
I really, but that main event, not the one between Hart and Davey Boy, but between Warrior and Macho Man, really pissed me off because it was like a year earlier. Fucking Macho Man costed Ultimate Warrior his WWE title by smashing him over the head at Royal Rumble with the scepter, and now these two guys are called. Now it was a face versus face match at SummerSlam, and they're supposed to be both cool with each other. I thought, no, man, that's just fucking stupid. You could, it just felt so wrong. I can't believe how talented a singer Rick Astley is. I worked as a roadie when he was temporarily filling in as a lead singer of Motorhead.
All right.
Yeah,
so
apparently I'm triggered just because I'm making fun of Rick B in the comments and just coming up with a story as ridiculous as his are.
Wait a minute, there was a jingle all the way too?
Yes.
Oh my god, who's that? Oh, it's that fucking hillbilly bloke that stars in it.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It just popped up on my YouTube feed, that's why.
Larry Cable Guy was also in the direct sequel to The Rock's movie, The Tooth Fairy.
Oh my god. Was he the Tooth Fairy in it?
Yeah, he was the lead in Tooth Fairy 2.
That's where you go to if you just want to make a shit film, just get Larry the Cable Guy in it.
Oh my god. I'm looking at the Wikipedia now. Santino Marella's in it.
Really?
Yes, I'm not kidding you.
Well,
Chavo Guerrero plays the Sheik in the Iron Claw movie, which I was a bit shocked to hear about. Sheik? Chavo Guerrero.
Oh right.
And MJF plays one of the Von Erich brothers.
Yeah, they cut his part out completely from the film just to kind of streamline it a bit. He didn't have like a massive role in it, but they've kind of cut his. They just focus more on the other guy. Zac Efron's face looks absolutely fucked, by the way. He's done all the like fillers and Botox, and he looks like it looks fucking weird.
He still wants to look like he's 15, doesn't he?
Yeah, it just looks weird.
It's good looking,
but great actor though. He's a fucking great actor. Like really good. The Iron Claw's gotten great reviews, by the way.
It doesn't come out till February, but so many people have seen it. I don't get it.
December 22nd, it comes out.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe you've owed.
But I don't know if it comes out here on the 22nd. Let me check. So go on, guys. Didn't mean to.
That's right. I was just saying, so Rick B's claiming that he's owned a weed farm, has worked in the cinema.
I didn't own Oh yeah, it's February in the UK. You're right, Sam.
I don't. It's worse the fact that that Larry the Cable goes into February 2, or knowing that what role he plays. Boy, I had no idea, but yeah, there you go, guys.
because Williams, it's his favorite franchise. That's why he loves the Tooth Fairy franchise.
He's got a wrestler in it. He's watching it.
Oh no! Fuck's sake! I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Carry on.
Okay, well, let's read some of the comments. Shred is clearly upset that I live more an interesting life the one just because I hope I said that correctly. Just because I have different opinions is hilarious. I once met Nelson Mandela while I was temporarily held in South African jail. Nice guy, but had some really toxic views on white people because he's a racist. Mine all true. In the universe I'm from, Mandela died in 1980s. Oh god. The Emperor of Japan offered to give me a tame Godzilla as a pet. I was holding out for King Kong. My stupid fault.
Actually,
I mean,
talking
we've
of
ended up with
Godzilla.
King Kong. Yeah, this is Zam right there. There you go. There's King Kong.
If you want something
exactly.
to watch, if you want something to
King
watch,
Dong.
if you can,
King Kong.
if you all want something to watch Godzilla minus one.
I need to watch that. I need
it's
to
so
fucking watch
good.
that.
I'm not even joking.
Everyone has said
Gotta
how
watch
good it
that,
is. So
it's
yeah.
like my third favorite movie of the year. Yeah, third favorite movie of the year.
Thomas the Tank Engine based on my entire life. The sentient train. Fun fact about Thomas the Tank Engine: absolutely beloved show among people with autism because it helps them understand facial expressions. Moving on to the next bit. Just thought I'd
Well,
drop
the
a
funny thing
tidbit.
is, I used to watch Thomas the Tank Engine quite a lot when I was a kid, and hardly any of the fucking episodes had Thomas in it. It was all about the supporting cast was more involved in it than Thomas was. Like so many episodes had Edward and Henry and the fat conductor and this, but where the fuck was Thomas? It was mainly he should have just been called Friends, not Thomas the Tank
I
Engine
think
and
that's what they
Friends.
changed it to afterwards, wasn't it? Thomas and Friends.
Well, no, the original show was called Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. And the first two seasons were based entirely off of the Railway series books that the Reverend Wilbur Awdry had written. So, yeah, Wilbur Awdry had only written so many stories about Thomas the Tank Engine himself. So, of course, naturally, those first two seasons, they were going to flesh it out and, do stories about all the different characters.
Doesn't fucking Disney own Thomas the Tank Engine now, by the way?
No.
I think it's Marvel. No. Not Marvel. Mattel. I think it's Mattel that owns them.
Well, that means you get Americanized, and you got Thomas coming. Howdy, partner.
Entertainment. Oh yeah, subsidiary of Mattel. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They did a cartoon which is complete. Nothing like the original series. Because the original series was back in the day. The original series was extremely charming. The fact that it was done using like live action models.
Yeah,
I thought that was an absolute masterpiece. But Mattel have done this cartoon
CGI
version of it instead now. No. They did move to CGI at one point, but now they're actually doing like a 2D cartoon.
Well, I mean, Well, I mean, I remember when I started watching it, it was actually Ringo Starr doing it.
Yeah, Ringo Starr was the man.
He was the narrator for the first two seasons, and then they had Michael Angelis, who did it for like 25 years.
Yeah. Ringo Starr was so good at it. Sorry.
The thing is, though, because Ringo Starr was is renowned as being the voice for Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. If they did Americanize it, I can imagine them using Mickey from the fucking Monkees.
Well, do you know who they used for the American version of it?
George Carlin.
No, the first two seasons they did actually use Ringo Starr, but then they brought in George Carlin, and then after him, it was
actually George Carlin's a good choice.
It was one of the Baldwins. Alec
Baldwin.
Alec
Baldwin. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm cool with Alec Baldwin as long as it's Stephen.
He was a big Thomas the Tank Engine fan. He was in the film as well. Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
there's a film.
Yeah, there was a movie called Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was awful. George Carlin. And Thomas pulled up to the station. He said, "Fuck this system."
Hang on.
So are you.
Hang on.
Rubio.
I'm going to pull up a clip for you guys just to react to, because I think it's fucking brilliant. We don't have to react to the whole video, but somebody has spliced George Carlin's narration of Thomas the Tank Engine with his comedy albums.
Oh, brilliant. All right. Yeah,
so I'll let Panny, I'm going to send it to you if you want to pull it up on stream. We watch maybe like a minute or two of it.
Put it on private chat. I'll put it right.
Well, I've sent it to
Okay.
Panny, so
Okay.
Presents share screen.
pull this up again. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but I think it's brilliant.
There we go.
Is
Right.
a tank engine who lives at a big station on the island of Soto. He could eat a
Yeah,
whole
right.
bowl of alphabet soup and
Yeah.
then vomit up the vowels and consonants separately. He could speak 7 languages, but unfortunately, he was disliked in all those countries. Then along came Sir Topham Hatt, the man in charge of all the engines on the island of Sodor. He once claimed the most difficult thing he ever did was to take a shit in a phone booth without removing his own. Sir Topham Hatt said, 1, 2, 3, push. What a bunch of pussies, said Sir Topham Hatt. Well,
This is that one.
leave you here until you're ready to come out of the tunnel. Something I really don't like is that stop action animation junk. Why don't they can that shit? It's fake looking and it detracts from the story. When Henry had got up steam, he puffed out. He was dirty and covered with cobwebs. Oh, I'm stiff, he groaned. Good. Stay the fuck out of here, said Sir Topham Hatt. The signalman ran up. Hello, Thomas, he said. What are you doing here? I'm looking for an antique lamp sticking out of a clown's ass, said Thomas. James, the driver, and fireman were feeling him all over to see if he was hurt. Help, Mommy! The man is touching me like Daddy does at home. I'll show them, he thought. They think Gordon is the only engine who can pull coaches. Fuck him. You have a leather bootlace there, said the conductor to a smartly dressed man. Please give it to me. Oh, it is, huh? Well, fuck you. Then I'm afraid the train will just stop where it is. The passengers all said what a bad railway it was. Then they told the man how bad he was instead. All right. I'll give it a shot. I know you're sorry, James. And I know, too, that you want to be a useful engine. People are laughing at my railway, and I do not like that at all. Take your fucking railroad and stick it up your ass, said James. We want our money back. I get tired listening to this shit, said Gordon. How about you, huh? Fuck these people. Who do they think they are with their goddamn 3-piece suits and their fancy eyeglasses? The conductor will tell us in a minute. They waited and waited, but the conductor didn't come. Beep, beep, beep. Where's the conductor? Whistled Thomas. I will personally go to his house and beat the shit out of him. Masturbation is not illegal, replied the conductor. But if it were, people would probably take the law into their own hand. And remember, this is Mr. Conductor talking. I know what I'm talking about. Every time he met another engine, he would say, I want to fish.
Yeah, but if you want
They
to
all
pause
had
it
the
there.
same answer. Engines.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, he played
That's
like because when the Americans took when the show went over to America, they actually did some live action sequences. It was for a show called Shining Time Station. So again, first season was Ringo Starr, and then George Carlin played Mr. Conductor.
That is fucking brilliant.
But that's something I would love. Here's the thing, right? I would love to see that show, like the clips of the old version of that show, taken and spliced up to do something like C-Lab.
Do what?
Well, like what Adult Swim did with C-Lab.
What was C-Lab? Is that the? I
don't know what C-Lab is.
Was that the talk show?
No. C-Lab was it was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon from like back in I want to say the 60s. But what happened was I think it was called C-Lab 2020. Adult Swim did a version that was C-Lab 2021. And they just completely redubbed it and made it as inappropriate as fucking possible.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like for example, I don't know, instead of like when Thomas the Tank Engine, but like so for example, instead of like an episode where Thomas the Tank Engine is like crashed into like a snowdrift, he's maybe crashed into Pablo Escobar's house and it's like cocaine, something like that. I think that would be fucking hilarious.
That would be great. Yeah.
Or even
that's what I mean. Man. Gotta take old children's properties and just make them adult as fuck now. because you garner a brand new audience. If you like Robot Chicken, a lot of old kids stuff, it'll be brilliant.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, that hit the spot. That was cool. All right. What do you reckon? Should we call it a night?
I think so.
Yeah, we could.
Getting a bit burnt
out.
out.
Especially since I've just seen the blue lights outside Zam's house. We should, cut the stream before the police come in.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have, without doubt, seriously incriminated myself in tonight's stream in various ways. So
we'll see you
I think it's about time. About time.
It's been a nice one. It was a random stream.
Yeah.
That was fucking.
We'll need to get that. We will need to get the clip and put it in isolation of our 10 worst Christmas movies.
Oh yeah, I'm going to download and edit that because that will come out on Christmas Day to bring spread happy cheer and joy, and that yeah. So keep an eye out for our other top 10 Christmas episodes and movies. They're coming out 23rd, 24th, and the 25th. We've got stuff coming out for there. And on that note, thank you to everyone that joined us in the comments. We had a good laugh. And on that note, good fucking night.